I was having a few problems with the. Every time I go live, there's always some bloody thing going wrong. All right. Oh shit. Yeah, there's always something going wrong with the going live stream. But let me see. Now, I'm going to talk about any topics that I've got a few topics that I want to focus on today. I'm doing two things at once here. Oh, that's the trouble with having the old boggy face paint on. If you've got to rub your nose, you've got to watch out for the paint. Okay, so but yeah, as so people are bound to ask me, Mark, why is old Boggy back? Well, it was Halloween the other day. Was it now? It's the 6th. So I don't know. It was a few days ago. I can't remember when Halloween was, but yeah. So people have been asking for old Boggy to come back, and it's Halloween. So here we go. And yeah, if you got any, oh, actually, right. You know what? But right. It's been a while since I've used this, second time since I used this phone. Hello. Oh, blimey. Look, Joanne, I've just explained. The, yeah, it's Halloween. That's why Joanna B asks, what's the face paint for? Because it's Halloween. It was Halloween just a few days ago. And, it was a few days late because I was waiting on the old Boggy face paint to arrive in the post. You see, so that's anyway. So yeah, hopefully I remember. Was it last year or the year before when old Boggy made an appearance? It was quite entertaining actually, quite funny because well, you'll remember Joanna B. There was a lot of outrage. Oh, actually, right. I'm getting messages on my phone here. But they disappear quite quick, so I'm going to have to speak to you and then look at my computer over here for the questions. Mate, good. Funky Spectrum, blackface again, mate. Good to see. Thank you very much, Funky Spectrum. War ready. Can you leave this stream up for rewatch later? Yeah, I do. Yeah, all my live streams. I load them shortly after finishing going live, and let's see, Nostalgia Barn, Mark coming back with a bang. Yeah, well, excellent, thank you. War ready, Mark. What do you think of your new Prime Minister? Well, actually, the funny thing is, I don't follow, although I did at one point in my life. I was an avid viewer of the news and current events and all that lot, but it was so depressing and annoying. This is before and during Brexit, when the country rightfully voted, in my opinion, to leave Brexit, and it was around that time when they were just letting anybody in the country who bloody well showed up, So after that, it was just getting too annoying, and I just couldn't focus on, it was driving me mad. So I just had to leave it. But so what I do now is I follow the American news is much more entertaining. Well, maybe not entertaining is the right word, but it's more interesting to watch. What with the country going down the toilet, thanks to Biden and his pals. So I don't actually follow. I heard that Boris Johnson was quitting or getting leaving, not quitting but leaving. I don't know who's taken over. I wouldn't recognise them on the telly unless they actually said that they were the Prime Minister. Natav, what's the mask for? Fabio DeSimone, who's old Boggy? Oh, Harry Chaplin, nice shirt. He says, oh, thank you very much. I got it from the charity shop ages ago. Yeah, paid about, pay about $3.50 sometimes for a shirt, you know. Funky Spectrum, I thought you were dressed up as Rishi Sunak. Actually, that's famous member. Is he a politician or she a politician? Anyway, to answer questions, Natav and Fabio DeSimone. This is old Boggy face paint. There's a character on. I would advise everybody to watch it. The whole series was on YouTube. Called Jeeves and Wooster. It's got Hugh Laurie and Stephen Fry. And there's an episode in it, way into the series, that they go to this village and some shenanigans ensue, and it coincides with, similar to our Halloween, right? But there's a tradition in the town where old Boggy comes out and wreaks havoc and, drags people off to hell or whatever the hell else. I mind Jeeves and Wooster. Yeah. Jamie Ball. How's it going? I mind you. Yeah, Jeeves and Wooster. So there's a character in it, and the some of the main characters are forced to dress up as old Boggy to elude the police and whatnot. And so this is the old Boggy Halloween face paint, you know. I would advise everybody who's interested, to watch it. Jeeves and Wooster, it's called. Hugh Laurie, I suppose better known as the House, which took me years to figure out. I'll tell you what, because I never really gave it much thought. But he went to America and he's in a TV show called House, where he's a not crime fighter, but he's a doctor who's able to use Sherlock Holmes-like detective reasoning to determine what's up with people. And I swear to God, it took me years to figure out, because the Americans have got very little imagination in this regard when it comes to copying TV shows. They call him House because it is slightly different but the same as Holmes, because he is basically playing the part of Sherlock Holmes, but they can't call him Holmes for copyright reasons, so they call him House, which is the next best thing to get away from copyright, I would imagine. Okay, let's have a look. We'll get a few so I'm getting comments coming up, but they don't last very long, so I'm looking at the computer down here. Jamie Ball, have you got any pets, Mark, apart from chickens? They don't count. Well, okay. No, I used to have a tarantula years ago. That was a long time ago. Aside from that, no pets. If I was given the choice, I do see people walking around, walking their dogs, and I think, one of those could do me, one of those tiny, the dogs that are that long and maybe that tall, that don't eat much. And they're quite happy, a 10-minute walk. And they're, not like a big dog, you got to take them out for an hour, But the trouble is, they'd be locked in the house all day, Mad Maz 49. Mark, you look different, but I can't figure out what it is. Well, the thing, I've had a shave. That's what it is, I think. I don't often see nowadays. I kind of let it grow. I've always been in jobs where I don't have to be clean shaven, and I don't like being clean shaven. So what I do, I get the hair trimmers, take the guard off, and usually shave with that. But recently, I've taken the hair trimmers and put a guard on it, so now I'm able to trim it. We're keeping it longer, keeping it about at least a week's worth of growth. Every time I shave it, it trims it to that thing. So, but today I took the guard off, and because I had to put the face paint on, so that might be it. Being closely shaven, a bit more than normal. Oh, Peter B is in the house. Old Boggy is back. Nice one. Thank you very much, Peter B. He's, as you can see from the blue spanner on next to his name, he's the moderator, keeping law and order. I've got gecko. Oh, Nostalgia Barn's got geckos. Geckos, those little lizards, I believe. You'd suit keeping geckos. They would be right up your street. Yeah, I don't know. Mind you, yeah, that's about lizards. I don't know about lizards. Mr. Deegan, evening, Mark. Love the face. Thank you very much. Have you ever... Natav, have you ever had a Magnum? You talk about the ice cream Magnum. I've had those. I've had them. Actually, they're not bad. I'm not really big on dark chocolate, but I do. I think Magnums have got dark chocolate. No, could be wrong. Could be milk chocolate. But I do like Magnums. I like the vanilla, or their brand of vanilla inside the Magnum. Can we have a Magnum drink review? Oh, okay, Magnum drink. Okay, well, because you've got Magnum of champagne as well, and I don't know, what is Magnum drink? What is that, an energy drink or something? Funky Spectrum, I could see you as being the new Roger Cook. Do you think you could take a dog chain to the forehead? Shit. Actually, I remember Roger Cook. That was from the mid-80s. He used to go, well, if there's any, like, you know, criminal types and rogue traders, he used to go banging on the door and with his camera crew and chase them down for a question, you know, for answers. Mr. Deegan, Mark's trying to look like his immigrant neighbours. Yeah, actually, actually somebody moved in next door downstairs. You know, the place has been vacant for 4 months. But yeah, actually, the thing is, yeah, actually, the funny thing is, I seem to get, it's more of the Polish types that move in around here, more than the darkies. But yeah, we got a fair share of foreigners. Jamie Ball. Oh, apparently Roger Cook is still alive. I'll tell you what, though. I mean, mid-80s, well, I say, mid-80s, I would have been 15. All right, 85, 90, what's that, 35 years? 35. Yeah, okay. So that's 35 years ago, and say he was 40 at the time. So, that, you know, that'd make him 75, 80 years old, if, you know. Jamie Ball, would you pop down to your neighbours to say hello now? Polish would love that look. Yeah. I don't know if they go in for Halloween, actually. Actually, can you see me all right? I'm a bit of a... I'm sort of not directly under the light. Nostalgia Barn, Clint Eastwood died. What? Clint Eastwood died? Shit. You know, I was thinking about him a few weeks ago, thinking, fuck me, he's like got to be like, you know, 90 or something. But no, shit, I didn't know Clint Eastwood died. A few weeks back. Oh man, I didn't know that. Oh man. That's the trouble. You know, the older you get, you don't really sort of, when you're young, you don't sort of appreciate these things. But as you get older, you start to notice all these celebs dying. You think, shit, they're only like 30, 40, you know, some of them 30, 40 years older than I am, you know. Well, in my case, I'm 52, so even if they get to 82, that's doing pretty good. They're only 30 years older than I am. But I think Eastwood was older than that. I mean, he used to run, you know, quite a lot. Brian Byron. Jamie Ball says he was in his 80s. What's my thoughts on the Queen? Well, I'll tell you, I'm in sort of like two minds. Actually, excuse me. Oh, I've got a cup of. I just got a cup of water from when I was having my dinner earlier. I'm going to drink that, finish off this little bit of vodka. Oh, I tell you, trouble is you've got an itchy nose, and then we're going to open up a new bottle of vodka. What do I think of the Queen? I mean, it doesn't. I'm not really sort of that into the royal family. I've never sort of been. Well, when I was a kid, sure, the Queen's visiting down the train station or whatever, or the Silver Jubilee when you're a kid, you don't know any better. But no, I've got no time for them. But on the other hand, I think it was disgraceful that she'd been dead hours, and already people were posting stuff on the internet there about glad she's dead and fuck her and rotten hell and all that kind of stuff. Which I think is shameful for. I mean, like I say, I've got no time for the royal family, but I wouldn't go as far as to say rotting hell and all that lot, because she's never done me any harm as such. It's just damn disrespectful, and people like that just. I've got a feeling it's not. It's mostly those blue-haired lot, those pink-haired weirdos that are running around, multicolored hair and all that lot. It's those types, They just need some sense slapped into them. Oh yeah, Funky Spectrum. Be careful drinking all that. Yeah, yeah. Actually, the thing is now, I mean, when I was a kid, sure, I used to, drink until you fall down. But nowadays, I drink till I sort of like, get drunk. But not until I sort of fall down or throw up. But the trouble is, I think. Where's the ingredients? Ingredients: demineralized water, grain alcohol. Yeah, there's something. I mean, normally if I drink water afterwards or during or whatever, I'm usually fine with the headaches. But on occasion, I've drank. I remember when we had a Christmas party years and years ago, and the company hired this big, huge marquee tent. The one you can get about 500 people in this bloody place. This huge tent. And what I did, I took my own quarter bottle, quarter of vodka. It's one of those little flat ones that'll fit into your inside jacket pocket. Flat ones. Took one of those, and I swear to Christ, there was like ½ inch left of it at the end of it. I drank the whole lot, and I had a headache for like 4 days. Jesus, I thought I was going to die for 4 days solid. And I've never had a headache like it, So, as long as you drink water with it, or, Jamie Ball, yeah, it's the pink-haired freaks, Yeah, you see them all over the place around here, green hair, blue hair, pink hair. Ugh. Shit. Cassius Nuumnimnir, NWUME, Proctor. Do you like BLM? No. Well, I kind of like the BMT. I think there's a Subway sandwich, BMT or something along. I always have that. But if you're talking about the BLM, the black troublemaker types, no, I'm not a big fan. They're just. I mean, they're all full of shit anyway, right? You've got those. I mean, you've seen it all over the news. What was that? Batman Ting, Isaac Seal. There we go. Yeah, you've got your BLM leaders, if you like, people who started this load of shit, you know, asking for people to donate their money because we're going to help the black people because they're all fucking struggling and they're all being downtrodden and all that lot. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Give us your money and we're going to help the black. Yeah, and meanwhile, they're buying fucking mansions over in Beverly Hills. You know, 15-room bloody mansions with the money. They're not doing shit for the community. Aside from that, I mean, I think, fuck them, if somebody's stupid enough to give them the money, they, you know. But no, you know, I've got no time for them. They're all a big load of wasters. The people who organised it, they're a bunch of thieves who are asking for money to help the communities, and then they do shit except for buy big mansions on their, you know, for themselves. And the idiots who go out rioting on, you know, what's the word? On behalf of the BLM, you know, they're dumb because they're being used by people who are just you know, using them as cannon fodder. Actually, you know, they're saying you know, go out and burn some shops down and all that on behalf of the BLM, and we'll stand back here and you know, watch it all happen. Yeah, fuck them. Bad man Ting. Jamie Wall. Here, Mark, did you see that Yaz? Actually, well yeah, no, I haven't seen anybody, I haven't heard of anybody that's, who's been dying. I didn't know that Yaz had, I do remember Yaz. Yaz and the Plastic Population. The Only Way Is Up, I think was their big song. There you go, some not black, well, yeah, but black woman, but sort of very light, but with a white afro. Yeah, I remember that. They're kind of good. I liked them back in the day. Barry, what's your favourite alcohol drink? Well, that'd be vodka. Occasionally I'll drink beer, but vodka. I'm going to try and get through this water. I'll tell you what, though. I have, yeah, I tell you, now and again, you know what, I was telling somebody at work, I was the day that it, or the day after it happened. I tell you, if you want to meet the lower forms of life, you know, in whatever country you're living at, just travel on the buses. You know, I swear to Christ. The last week I was finishing work. I get 2 buses to work, 2 buses home, and on the second bus, we're traveling along. Oh, and I tell you what, it was a shocker. All right, it was getting dark, right? It was quite black outside, but quite dark. So the bus is coming along, and it stops at the bus stop. Then I can see through the window that there's this slim figure, and I think, oh, you know, some young woman there. She was dressed in a long pink coat, pink woolen hat, and a pink face mask. And it drew my attention to her because, you know, it's not often you see colour coordination like that. Hat, coat, and face mask. And I'm thinking, wow, you know, and there's some dedication to fashion there, you know, putting on a pink face mask to, you know, match the rest of your outfit. So I'm sitting there and, you know, gets on, says to the driver, you know, can I, like that, you know, like mumbling away. And the driver says, yeah, I can't understand what you're saying. You know, you're going to have to pull your mask out. So pull down the mask, and it was a fucking dude, right? It was a guy. It was a man. And the fucking bloke had a deeper voice than I did. He was like, yeah, can I get to Wolverton, please? You know, thanks very much. And I'm looking and I'm thinking, you fucking... Oh, I didn't mention the long curly hair as well, which looked like, you know, a nice woman's hairstyle, you know. So pink coat, pink hat, pink mask, long black hair. And yeah, this person's painful. And I'm fucking, like, I'm staring at this as this person's walking down the aisle. I think, fucking hell, what the fuck? And I'm looking at, you know, as I'm, what? And I noticed a woman behind me. You know, I said, I thought that was a girl. And she goes, yeah, I know. Yeah, so she realised, the woman behind me, but yeah, of course they're not going to say anything. But I quite often will make it abundantly clear to anybody who is, or people around, that I'm not of a fan of this kind of behaviour. So I was staring at this thinking, you know, giving it the evil, you know, Ugh, it was fucking weird though, because I could have swear if it wasn't for the mask, if they hadn't taken down the mask, he said, "Yeah, can I get a Buster Wolverton, please?" With this deep bloke's voice, I would have figured it was a chick because it was, slim build and the long hair. Oh, see, you can't trust anybody. I swear to Christ. Although, it was one of the most what do you call that? Realistic? Is that the word? Or one of those more convincing deviants that I've seen around, because quite often you got some bloke who looks like a truck driver dressed in a mini skirt and high-heeled boots. Ew. And they're not convincing anybody. I mean, Stevie Wonder could fucking figure them out, But so this one was, I don't know. What might you? I mean, it was because the thing is, because of the mask. As soon as I started talking, that was it. That was the giveaway, and the face, of course. That was a giveaway. Oh man, my nose is. Got to rub my nose, but I don't want to rub the old boggy face paint. Yeah, Barry, just think you could have tried to chat her up on the bus and ended up taking her home and making love. And not even realising it was a dude. Yeah. Well, what's that movie called? Mona Lisa, I think that had a tranny in there, a tranny prostitute, and the blokes are finding out the the hard way about them. MFC repair armor. What's it? Oh shit! Everything's jumped. Mark's gone black. Oh yeah, indeed. Peter B says hello to George C. I missed his. Anyway, hello to George C. If you've put a comment in there, I've missed it. Let's see. Oh, a lot of people getting their. George, there you go. George C is one of the moderators keeping law and order. Good, thank you very much. I don't know what. Yeah, some people getting out of order probably. Amrik Sadherera. Hi, Mark. But Mark, put yourself in her/his shoes. Well, it's a his, living your whole life feeling you were born into the wrong body, that's not easy. No, that's delusional. That's what it is. And if I was running the country, I would have, I was going to say I would organise public floggings to flog the Jesus into these people, but I don't think I will, because that would probably be cause some anyway. But yeah, no, it's not the case of it's not. You say it's not easy. No, it is delusional. It is a brain malfunction. You are born into the wrong body. How the fuck? No. Hey Mark, what's this? Bob Exter, 97. Hey Mark, when are you going to start doing your cookie vids again? Cookery vids. Yeah, you know what? It's on the one hand. Look at that. On the one hand, it's difficult with this new camera because there's no pause function, and I don't know how to edit just yet. I'll try and figure it out. 2, I've done over 1,100 videos on my channel in the last 5 years, and you know what? Because sometimes I used to take a break, and I need to have a break from a subject now and again. See, the thing, I've kind of lost interest for the time being in the cookery bit. I'll still try and do some, some quick videos. Maybe some sandwich videos, definitely some food reviews, and this kind of thing. I've just done so many cookery videos. The momentum, the thrill of it, the interest has sort of waned a little bit. possibly if I just have a break from that for a while and concentrate on other videos. If anybody, you know, if people want to stick around and you know, maybe I'll do some more DVD reviews. I'll do some food reviews, do some live streams, all this kind of stuff. But as for the food, yeah, I just need a little bit of a break. You know, it's I mean, I've done a lot of them. Out of the 1,100 videos that I've made for the channel, I would estimate approximately 800 plus with food. A whole bunch more. Well, that's cooking. That's what we're cooking related, and then of course you've got hundreds more which are drinks reviews, food reviews. Me just standing there with a box of chocolate, a box of biscuits, a packet of crisps, a new chocolate bar, reviewing that. So you've got a few hundred of those. Yeah, I just need a break for a bit. You know, it's. Yeah, but you know, I'll most likely get back to it. You know, I just need to focus on something else. Because it does. I've done so many. I just can't think of anything new. You know, all I'll be doing is hashing up the same old shit that I've been doing for ages now. But yeah, anyway, so that's the long sort of version. I just need a break from that. You know, I'll concentrate on some other types of videos for a bit. You know, but I'll still be doing reviews on foods and stuff. Barry, will you cook the chickens? No, no. Even well, the thing is, I mean, no, I don't think I would. I don't know. Having said that, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to kill. I mean, if something was drastically wrong with a chicken, it was if it was in agony and it needed to be put down, maybe I could dispatch it, perhaps. I mean, it seems fairly simple, breaking the neck, but I've never done it. But I don't think I could kill it. I don't think I could kill it specifically for food, although I don't know whether I could eat it or not. Maybe not. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it's not, they're kind of pets, and I don't look at them as food. You know, I look at the eggs as food, but not the chickens. Ah, Byron. What happened to the beehive you were getting? Well, that's the thing. We were looking into beehives, and the council they won't allow the bees to be on the allotment. Although it would help everybody's plot by having bees pollinating all the other plants and stuff, but they won't allow it because people will be worried about bees flying on them and stuff like this. Although I do know somebody who's expressed an interest in. I'm looking at comments as they're flying up. I do know somebody who expressed an interest in having bees. So there is a special the beehives that we were looking at. They're not the old-fashioned ones with the squares, and you open it up and you pull the square out, and you got to scrape off the wax. There was a special name for this company, and what it was like all in one. You know, you don't ever have to take anything apart. The bees will go in, they'll lay it. You turn because when you've got, imagine like phone books all in a row. You got those. That's where they do the honeycombs. Well, the honeycombs are already made, in plastic, so they fill them up with honey, and then you just crank the lever. It breaks the seal. Imagine you've got like two honeycombs, all the honeycombs put together, and it breaks them, and all the honey will drain out. They're so easy, I don't know what it's called, beehive? I don't know. But yeah, you can get anyway, so that's what this person is thinking about getting. So if they do, then I'll be filming that, Barry says it's very easy to wring a chicken's neck. Yeah, I mean, it looks easy from what I've seen, but it's, you know, I mean, that's the trouble. You do it too much, you probably rip the head off. You do it not enough, you probably cause more injury than, more harm than good, you know. Fabio Desimone, what music do you like? I like 80s and 90s music. I like that one, Timbuk 3, The Future So Bright, You Gotta Wear Shades. People don't seem to realise that's a nuclear war song. It's about the nuclear bomb. But people have misconstrued it as, you know, future so bright, you know, you're getting good grades, you're making lots of money. Jones Mako says his favourite is Back Shots. I don't know what that is. Royal Family Are Cancer. That's the name of that person. Royal Family Are Cancer. Cool face paint. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a Halloween face paint depicting old Boggy from the Jeeves and Wooster TV show. And also Papalazoo, although it's slightly different than Papalazoo, but Papalazoo is really good. That's from the program League of Gentlemen. There's a lot of crazy goings on in the world. Let's stick to interesting stuff. That's from Peter B. Are you religious? No, I'm not religious at all. We used to get dragged to the Mormon church when we were kids, but no, I've never been a religious person. Jones Mecco, Mark, how much wood can you hold? How much wood can I hold? Well, I don't know. I mean, when I'm at work, I'm lifting boxes, anything from 5 to 25 kilos, you know. So I guess anywhere in between that. Although when I was training, it is different because you've got dumbbells, which are a weight that's concentrated in one big lump, as opposed to at work where it's a box where it can be lopsided. You know, if you're carrying wood, it's all jagged edges and, you know, not necessarily uniform size. I don't know, but George C, do you have a strategy? Oh, there you go. Here's a good question. George C asks, do you have a strategy for all you can eat buffets? How to get your money's worth? Indeed. Yes, I do. And I've done this. How to get your money's worth? Well, first of all, you find a place that you like, does all you can eat buffet. Okay. Then what you do, you run down to the Poundland and you buy some of those 500 milliliter bottles. 2 of them for £1, or whatever libation you want to get. Don't buy well, you'll have to buy one in there. But what you do, you take in your own, all right, and you stick them in your pocket and you open them up. So that's how you save money, right? So you take your own drinks in there and you hide them in your pockets. Then you go to the buffet, all right. What you do is try and go for the selection of meats. The meats are where the money goes. Don't fill up on rice. Oh, you have a bit of rice, great. You know, take a few vegetables, a bit of potato, whatever you need. But mostly get the meats. That's where the money, because vegetables are dirt cheap. And for Christ's sakes, I've seen somebody do this. Don't go into an all-you-can-eat buffet with get a plate of chips. We've got one up the city centre called the Red Hot Chili Buffet. It's above TGI Fridays for anybody who knows Milton Keynes, up in the Theatre District. You go up there and you got like 3 or 4 different countries worth of cuisines. You know, you got your Chinese and whatnot, noodles and chicken and all that kind of stuff in the middle. You go around the edges. You've got Italian pizza over here. You've got chips over here. You've got Indian food on the side there. Don't go for the chips. You may as well go to the fucking chippy to buy chips, for a quid. You go to all you can eat buffet, you're looking at sort of 10, 12 quid, right? So avoid the chips. Mostly get the meats. Don't fill up on rice and the vegetables. Get a little bit just for colour. But go for all the meats, the chicken, the beefs, and whatever else, Then what you do, you go to your table. You just eat. Don't wolf it down because you want to get down to get another bowl. You take your time, and what you do when you're finished, you just stay there. And I've done it. I've gone in there with a book, and I've read my book on chickens or whatever, a little magazine. Read a magazine for 5-10 minutes. You're just letting it settle. The staff are not going to say anything to you. And if they do, say, look, fuck off, I just want to let it settle there for a minute. All right, but they're not going to say anything. So you just read your magazine for 10 minutes, and then you stroll back, you get another plate, get your chicken, a little bit of rice for, colour. Come back, nice leisurely eat, and then go back to your magazine. Once you finish, go back to your book, your magazine. And that's how you get your money's worth. You pace yourself. Don't try and get it down as fast as you can because, shit, they're going to shut the kitchens. No. Just take your time. Just eat slowly, chew your food, just let it settle, read a book, and take your own drinks in, right? Because what I do, I try and get a booth. I try not to get try not to get a table in the middle where you got things going all right around you. I try and get a booth, right? And then I've got my bag on my left, just open it up. And because you need to buy one drink. All right, because that way you've got your pint of Coca-Cola or something, and then what you do, you just drink it halfway down, you fill it up, you drink it halfway down, you fill it up for the bottle that's out your pocket. That's how you do it. Because you pay like several £pounds for a pint of. That's where they sting you. You see, they charge you the one price for all you can eat. But then they sting you on the drinks. So you buy one purely so you have a glass, where you can, because otherwise they're going to think their attention will be drawn to you if you don't have a drink all the way through your meal. It looks really odd, because everybody has a drink. So as long as you have a glass there and you just top it up, with cheap drinks you get from the shop. Anyway, so that's how you get your money's worth. Prisoner music. Have you ever considered having a... Now, I don't know what this is. Metotomy. Metotomy. I don't know. Is that a made-up word? I don't know. Nostalgia Barn. What I do is wait round the back of the all you can eat and just go through the bins for stuff they throw out. Then it's totally free, all you can eat. Yeah, that's one way of doing it. That would be the cheapest way. I tell you what, getting a job there. Although I'm not really a big people person. Although I'd probably make a smarter waiter than most. Because I'm able to think, which a lot of people I work with or run into can't. I'm able to, as a customer, I would make a good waiter because I'm able to anticipate somebody's needs. Like for example, when I go to the local chippy, I've been on both sides. I've been on both sides of counters. Not this chippy, but in shops and whatnot. And it's the dozy kids that they have working there. They'll wrap up your fish and chips in paper, and then they'll hand it to you. And you think, what the fuck? And then they're like, do you want a bag? Well, yeah, I want a fucking bag, dummy. Because what you would think, I'm going to put it into my bag here and have it roll around, but by the time I get home there's going to be chips and fucking whatnot all over my groceries and stuff. It doesn't occur to them. So as a smart, person who's been on both sides of the counter, and I know, been around for a while, things like that, so, don't ask. Well, you know what annoys me is when you go into shops nowadays, fucking Farm Foods does it, last time I went in, and the Co-op are starting to do it. They'll ask you, do you want a receipt? Just give me the fucking receipt. Okay, if I don't want the receipt, I'll put it in the bin. If I don't want the receipt, I'll leave it there. You can put it in your own bin. But, I got to ask you, do you want a receipt? Yeah, I want a fucking receipt. I want to check that all my, haven't been overcharged or all my points have been added and whatnot, Ugh, I hate it when they ask, just give the receipt, Don't ask if the guy wants a bag. Just put his food into a bag. Yeah, no, I hate that. So I would make a good waiter because I wouldn't be asking stupid questions like that. I would be able to look across the room. The guy is down to his last 4 inches of drink. I'll get over there, see if he wants a refreshed, a new libation there for his table. Because I tell you what, I've gone into there's a shut down now, but there used to be a Chinks by the market. I used to go in there. I used to like their food, but the service was shit. All you got to do is I've actually been looking through the window of the place, looking at trying to figure, is it busy? Is it too busy? Is it I've got to fight anybody for a table? Looking through the window, and they're like, yeah, come in, yeah, the door's right there. They're waving at you to look. Or you walk past the front door and they open the door. Oh, come on in. Like this. They hijack you when you just fucking walking by. I used to hate that. But yeah, you go in there and it's all you can eat buffet, right? And all you can drink as well. You buy one drink and you get unlimited refills. Only they won't come round to refill your fucking drink, right? So you've got an empty glass. You're forced to go to the bar to refill your own drink or get the bartender to refill your own drink. Free refills. And then they're like, oh, I would have brought it for you. No, you wouldn't, because if you would have, you would have. If you were gonna, you would have already. And so, which is why I don't give them any fucking tip. If I've got to get up out of my chair to get my own bastard drinks, they don't get a tip. And anyway, so yeah, so I'd be able to anticipate stuff. So anyway, I don't know how we got onto that. Funky Spectrum. One of my mates takes a rucksack lined with a bin bag into all-you-can-eat buffet and can fill it about 15 plates of food in there. Actually, I'm trying to think. I think I've actually done that once. Not with a bag, but I took a little Tupperware. I took a little Tupperware box in there once. And I filled it, because this was when they would they used to do these like mini spare ribs. They're a bit messy. I don't like sitting in a restaurant and eating spare ribs because it gets a bit, I'll eat it at home and make a big mess, sure, but not in a restaurant, right? So yeah, I've done that. I've taken a Tupperware tub in and just taken all the spare ribs, and put them into the bowl and seal it up again, put it in the bag, and then go get some more on the next trip. Yeah, as long as you don't get seen doing it, I mean, but the thing is also, I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Okay, they see you putting spare ribs into a Tupperware, or emptying food into a little Tupperware bowl. What's the worst they can do? The waiter's going to come over and say, "Excuse me, you can't be doing that." You say, "You got two options." Okay, thanks very much. Yeah, I won't be doing that again. Or piss off and leave me alone. Then he's going to go to the manager. The manager's going to say, well, listen, you actually owe us for an extra plate. You tell them, no, thank you. I'm not going to be doing that. And then you make a big hoo-ha, make a big load of noise, and they'll be glad to get you out the door rather than make a big row in front of all the other people. So then, you just don't go there again. Or at least not for months and months and months. Yeah, I mean, I've had it at Burger King. Was it Burger? No, Kentucky. I was in Kentucky. And sometimes when I was training, at this gym. I used to go, go training at the gym and then come out and have a whole bunch of those mini fillet burgers. 3, 4, 5 of those mini fillet. This is back when they were £1. Have about maybe 5 of those, but I would take in my own 2-pinter of milk. And I got questioned by one of the staff. Said, "Oh, you can't be drinking your own drinks." I said, "Well, listen, you don't serve milk here, so go away, just go away." And he went away and didn't come back. So that's what you got to do, So yeah, I mean, it's not a bad idea if you can get away with it. And great, fill up your, or one of those free. Yeah, I mean, what you could do, you could improvise something. Get a big freezer bag. I cut my finger there. Big freezer bag, and then sellotape it to the inside of a shopping bag. So you open up your shopping bag. You've got your shopping bag that's got the freezer bag in it. Just pour it in there, close it up. Yeah, that would work, All it needs is you've got to have enough neck to go out there and do it, It's you've got to have some nerve. But yeah, just look at it. What's the worst that can happen? They're not going to physically pick you up and throw you out, providing you're not, causing too much of a hassle. They'll just tell you not to come back. They'll try and get you to pay for another plate, but you tell them no, thank you. Call the police if you have to, but I'm not paying for it. And they'll be glad to get you, really. Royal family, always check your receipts, especially for those who waste a space, scan your items. Yeah, see, I always try, especially in a co-op, you go in the co-op, and I've had it, where they've scanned your points card, and it hasn't registered, and you only find out afterwards, it's like, or there's this one stupid kid that was working there. He was, I went to the counter, and I had a whole bunch of co-op branded stuff, and I bought a bottle of vodka, which I would have got a bunch of credit from the bottle of vodka. Give him my thing, he scanned it. He's too busy fucking talking to the bloke on the next till. Sort of like shooting the shit, sort of like being pals and chatting away, rather than concentrating on what I'm doing. Yeah, lost all my dividend that time, So I get receipt and make sure I get it all. Mad Maz, Mark, do you still do stir fries? They were very good videos. Yeah, well, yeah, I still do some stir fries. Only it's nothing really new. I've probably done every variant of stir fry. Yeah, if anybody's interested, but go along with Mark's Remarks stir fry. Type that in. Yeah, I've done everything from 3 or 4 different meats out of the fridge, put it in stir fry. Yesterday's Kentucky Fried Chicken, thrown that into a stir fry. Yeah, anything into a stir fry. Brian Byron, love your outlook on life, Mark. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, it's not always positive, but it's I tell it like it is. What's this? Oh, Ken Combine. Mark, mate, it's me, one of your Patreon subs. Oh, thank you very much for joining. Thank you for your Patreon sub. Yeah, it's it's not been too popular, the Patreon subs. Yeah, it's not something that I really push because I've never been one of the. I mean, I'm always sort of pushing the. If you're watching any of my videos, to try and allow the adverts to play, like that. But it really annoys me when you're watching some videos and you've got a guy with 30,000 subscribers and he regularly gets 50,000 viewings per video, and they're always asking you to contribute through Patreon, but they're getting a fucking boatload through advertising, but they still want you to sort of Patreon your money to them. Yeah, so I mean, I'm grateful for that, you know, and people do sometimes contribute, you know, during the live streams or whatnot. That's all good. But if anybody wants to help the channel without actually doing anything, you know, you just allow the ads to play. Let me tell you, they pay bugger all, but if enough people do it, then you know, it doesn't really add up to a whole hell of a lot. But you know, it's better than nothing. And you know, you know, I can put the money towards you know, stuff. You know, like can of sweet corn for the chickens or whatnot. Royal Family Arkansas says, Mark's not a sellout like most YouTubers who always ask for likes to the point you need. Ask for likes to the point you feel nauseous. Yeah, you know, I mean, you know, quite a lot of the time I forget to remind people of the thumbs up. Too busy getting drunk on the vodka, that's what it reminds me. Yeah. But yeah, you know, it just seems a little bit unfair, you know. People have got their own better things to spend their money on. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I appreciate when people do. It's all great, and I appreciate that. But it's not something that I push, you know, except for the adverts. The adverts doesn't cost any, but you can help by literally not doing anything. Don't even click them off. That's you have to actually do something to click the video off, but you do nothing by leaving them on, and that helps, you know. Right, it's 8:10. Hey all, oh, Peter B says, hey all, please remember to hit the thumbs up. Thank you very much, Peter B. Matt J says, what's with the face paint? Okay, I'll explain it again. I've explained several times, but I'll do the every once in a while. I'll have to reiterate. If you look at the date, it was Halloween just a few days ago. I wasn't able to do the face paint last week or whenever Halloween was because I was waiting on it to arrive in the post. This is homage to Old Boggy, a character in the Jeeves and Wooster TV show from the early 90s, I guess. Early 90s, perhaps. Yeah, the character was Old Boggy, who comes up from the bowels of hell once a year and wreaks havoc around this village. Let's see. M. Zota. Oi, Mark, this face makeup is a bit mad. Well, not really. A lot of people dress up as demons on Halloween. You know, yeah, I mean, it's just a Halloween thing. Terry Webster, need to do super chat on lives, Mark. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen the option. I'm not sure what super chat is or how that works, but when I'm fanning around trying to load this video, then I'll have a look at that, see what that's about. Let's see, I have a Patreon but don't have ads on my YouTube. Funky Spectrum, I have a Patreon but I don't have ads on my YouTube as I find them very annoying. Yeah, well, that's the price you pay, you see. You want something for free, you got to put up with the ads, you know. Like the Americans, for example, they don't pay for a TV license because they have advertisements. It's a big pain in the ass. We have a license fee, which, by the way, you got no business paying. I've mentioned this over several live streams. You pay for a license. Oh, see, that's the thing. You only pay for your license for BBC One and Two, which don't have any ads. The rest of them, they got ads, you know. But you know. But yeah, it's like that with YouTube, you know. If there wasn't any ads, they'd probably put a charge on it, you know. Mad Maz, Mark, have you ever been to Pakistan? No, no, it's. I don't think it'd be my scene. I don't think I would get on well over there. No, it'd be too hot, for example, for starters. And yeah, I'm not big on mixing with other cultures. You know, I mean, I've seen some of the. You know, like they, you know, when I was working with this, you know, yeah. Anyway, no, it'd be too hot. I've never been to Pakistan, but I've been to Austria. I've been to America, and I've been to Spain. As you'll know, I've been to Spain to do the running with the bulls. I've run with the bulls 5 times for anybody just tuning in. Yeah, the first time I did once, second time twice, and then twice after that. Yeah, I'll tell you what, the first time was like scary as all hell. You have no idea. When you watch it on, because I watched a few videos before I went to try and get an idea, you know, but let me tell you, being there is nothing like watching it on the video. A bit like most things, you know, it's like you can watch war movies, you can watch all kinds of horrible stuff on a movie, but being there in real life, it's totally different. And but yeah, I mean, being head height with these monsters, back, you know, I mean, it really is scary. The first time was the scariest of all because you know, there's a phrase. What's that phrase? Nothing to fear but fear itself. You know, you've got no idea what's. Well, you got, aside from what you saw on the tape, which on video, which is nothing. You've got no idea what's coming. Okay, you don't know how you're going to react. You don't know how the bulls are going to react. You don't know how the 1,000 people in the street are going to react that are running with you. You don't know what's going to be, what's the good idea to do, and what's the totally, you know, crazy idea to do that you're going to get you killed. You got to work all this out on the fly. So you got all these things going. It's, you know, scary as all hell. And then afterwards, you're thinking, oh, you know. So the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth time, they're basic. You know how things work. So what you got to do is try not to get trampled. That's your only problem right there. You know, trampled by the bulls, trampled by the other people, the other participants. Aside from that, you've got nothing to worry about, really. You know, so I mean, so it's all, you know what to do. You know what to expect. You know. So it's not as scary. It's still scary, sure, but at least you know what scary is coming around the corner. You know, I don't know if that makes any sense. But, right. George C., how did you deal with that 40-degree day last summer? Well, I don't know. I can't remember, but I know. See, that's the thing. People, you know, people say, "Oh, it's 40 degrees." I don't know. Is that hot? I'm guessing that's hot. 40 degrees. See, the only temperatures that I know are on the cooker. You know, usually I'm cooking at about 175 to 200 degrees Celsius, is it Fahrenheit or Celsius? I don't know, whatever the fuck, but Celsius or something. Other than that, I don't know what. But I mean, 40 degrees, if that's hot, I don't really deal with the hot very well, which is a bit of a problem going to Spain, actually. That's a bit of a bastard, trying to deal with that heat. But yeah, I don't deal with the heat very well. I try and stay out of the heat whenever possible, or wear a hat. I prefer, given the choice, I'd go for cold. Although my chosen hobby of growing stuff and having poultry, it wouldn't want to be in the cold all the time. But if it was just me walking around, I'd prefer the cold rather than the hot. Warm is okay, but hot. No. Anyway. Terry Webster says face paint would run in India. Don't want that. Indeed. Yeah, I'll probably blend in quite well with the with this face paint on. Uh, except they'll soon realise that I'm not one of them when I start whinging about the heat and the food and whatever else. Let's see. Already, Mark, speak on Palestine. Oh fuck, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Palestine. It's yeah. I mean, the thing is, I mean, it's. I used to follow the news religiously, but it's just too. You know, if you focus on all the stuff that's going on in the world, it's just too fucking depressing. So I just focus on one single bit. I watch the American news channel, see what they're doing about the crime and all the problems they're having with Biden fucking things up. But yeah, I mean, I don't follow it like I used to. It's just too much of it, and it's enough to bring you down. Barry, are they prison or Navy tattoos on your arm? How did you get them? No, no, they're not prison tattoo. No, this one's no, I mean, no, none of them are Navy. There you go. There's they're just tattoos. I got up here, my snake up there. Let's see. Yeah, that one was a tiny picture in the book, and I said, right, okay, blow that up. I said, blow that up, change the stripes slightly, change the tail, you know where the tail is, and it was actually standing on or sitting on a big rock, big boulder, big rock. Take that away, change the patterning, you know, but basically blow it up and change it, you know, so it'd be original. And then a couple of years later, I had this green put round there. You see that there? I don't know if you see that you see that where the bicep goes right in the corner. That as soon as that went in, when he dug that in with the, I could feel that vibrating in the left side of the neck over here. It was shooting straight across. That was a bastard though, right on a you know, big lump of muscle like that. You know, it's like, you know, straight in the muscle. It's not good. That one, actually, if anybody wants to, I don't know. It's you can only read that in a mirror. Yeah, because what I'd done, I had this put it onto laminate. And I had it printed on a computer in fancy writing, had it printed on clear laminate, took the laminate in the tattooist to say, right, okay, I want you to put this in reverse so it can only be read in a mirror. Okay, Royal Family are cancers. It says it's a bit surprising you can't relate to what 40 degrees feels like. That's scorching hot, the hottest day. Okay, all right, 40 degrees, that's hot. See, my point of reference when it comes to temperature, is from what goes in the cooker. You know, you got the thing that needs cooking for half an hour at 180 degrees. Okay, put that at 180. My reference to weight is mostly kilograms because I used to lift kilograms at the gym. My reference to distance is feet and miles. You know, I don't. Some people will say, "Oh yeah, 100 yards down the road," which I wouldn't say. I would say 300 feet. Actually, 100 yards is a bit more than 300 feet because a yard is a yard. See, that's the thing. Okay, you've got 3 feet. There you go. You've got a meter, which is 3 feet and 10 centimeters, or 100 centimeters. You've got a yard, which is just, I think that's 3 feet. without the 10 centimeters. Okay, so I don't use yards. I would use feet. If I'm saying, okay, so you got 100, 30 feet down the road there, 50 feet. It would confuse me if I'm trying to figure out, okay, you go down the road, you got 50 yards. 50 yards? Okay, you got 50 yards. Okay, 50 yards. A yard is 3 feet. Okay, so you got, fuck. It's just what you're used to, you know. I'm not used to, the only reference I have to heat is the cooker. You know, I don't give a flying fuck what temperature it is outside. I go outside and it's fucking hot. Oh shit, I've got to take my coat off, or it's cold, or I've got to put my coat on. You know, you ask somebody, what's it like outside? Well, it's cold. Okay, I'll put my jacket on. I don't want to hear about, oh, it's fucking 50 degrees outside, or it's 35 degrees. I don't know what. No, so, you know, I don't know. I just, you know, it's hot or it's cold outside, or it's whatever heat I need to cook something. How many we got here? Okay. Actually, we've got quite a lot of thumbs up there. Anybody not hit the thumbs up? By all means, go for that. I had a few subjects I wanted to speak about, but people. Oh, that was actually the royal family says. It reminds me of because you know, some of you might realise already that if you haven't got one, you probably have to go to the post office, I guess. The post office, in their infinite wisdom, okay, what they're doing is, you know, at the moment you've got your Queen's head stamps with the Queen's face on it. I think as some kind of counterfeiting, combat counterfeiting, what they're doing is they're doing the Queen's face stamp, but with a barcode along the edge. Okay, so what they're doing now is you've got until like January to use your stamps, or do what I did. I sent mine off about 2 weeks ago. I'm still fucking waiting for them to come back. What you do, you put them in an envelope with this form. You write down your address and everything, and how many stamps you've got of the Queen's head stamps. You think, okay, 24 stamps. Put that in. You send them away, and they will send you the equivalent in new stamps with the Queen's face with a barcode, and then you can go ahead and use them whenever you like. But at the Queen's head on their own, you've got until January, which is going to cost a fortune to do, right? You figure how many people out there with stamps that they know they're not going to use them in the next month, so they're going to post them away. You've got to pay some people to accept these stamps, right? Have a look at them, okay, swap them over, repost back the replacement stamps. Okay, so they're going to do that. They're going to spend $1 million doing that, right? And then the postman at work, he told me that in 8 months' time, they're going to be changing the stamps to having Prince Charles's face on them. So they're going to spend $1 million swapping all the Queen's stamps for Queen's barcoded stamps. And then in 8 months' time, they're going to put out another form, probably saying, "Okay, right. Well, you've got until January to use up all your Queen's head barcode stamps. You've got to use them or send them back, and we'll replace them with Prince Charles stamps." I would imagine that's probably what they're going to do. So that's going to cost another $1 million. You know. Because I'll tell you what though, every postman that you speak to, they'll all tell you pretty much the same thing, that the postal service is going down the shitter because people are not sending letters anymore. I mean, people do send letters, of course, but I mean, not nearly in the volume that they used to. It's all emails, it's all text messages, it's all, you know, phone calls on your free texts on your free calls on your phone. Bank statements, you can have that. You can have that. My wage slip is no longer on paper. They fucking email it to you, if I'm lucky. So most of the time I've got to chase them up for it. But but the point is, wage slips are sent via email rather than a piece of paper which you would keep and put in a box for future reference. So yeah, So the amount of letters that the post are actually dealing with is less than it, you know, it's getting less and less all the time. And they're going to spend a fucking boatload of money changing stamps from Queen's Head to Queen's Head with barcode, and then get rid of those in favour of the Prince Charles or King Charles stamps. It's crazy. They got more money than sense by the sounds of it. Terry Webster, Mark, your forearms are like Popeyes. Thank you. Yeah, actually, it's funny because when if I'm lifting weights, it's the forearms, the biceps that get it the most, the upper body. I've noticed my traps, which for those who don't know, if you were looking at my back, it would be across here and sort of down. If you were looking at my back, it would be, you know, down, you know, the shoulders. You know, like like when somebody does a double, you know, like say the Incredible Hulk, do this, or the traps come up. There's a muscle right there on the shoulders, at the back of the shoulder. They get developed, you know. But yeah, it's just a case of you know, lifting boxes and you know, trying to stay active. Oh, look at this. We got somebody made a donation. It's Basil Faulty. Donated £5. Thank you, Basil Faulty. Writes a message, like the face paint, Mark. LOL. What do you think about the 2021 census that's just been released? Not good, is it? I don't know what census you're referring to, the 2021 census. I don't know. Can you remind me of? I might well know, but I just don't know. I might have heard of it. I just don't know what that is. 2021. I mean, that was 2021 though. I mean, that was 10 months ago. There we go. But yeah, if you like, you know, reiterate or elaborate. But thank you very much. That's most generous. There you go. That's yeah. I'll tell you that happens on the live streams sometimes. It's very generous and very appreciated. If anybody does that, great. Or at the very least, you know, like I always say, adverts. That's the word. Anyway, big shout out, Basil Faulty. Thank you. But yeah, if you want to write what census that was, I've probably got an opinion on that. Peter B says, nice one, Baz. Excellent. Royal Family Arkansas says, the hotel down in Torquay is obviously taking it in. I don't know. Oh, and then he write underneath, raking it in. Yeah. Oh, actually. Oh, I think I know what you mean. Yeah, actually, yeah, you're talking about the Faulty Towers down in Torquay, raking it in. That hotel doesn't exist anymore. They got, I think it burned down. I think, but I was watching a program on Faulty Towers, a documentary on Faulty Towers, and John Cleese said that him and all the Monty Python lot stayed in the hotel down in Torquay, and he said that the manager was the rudest person he's ever met in his life, and all of them got up and moved to another hotel because they didn't like it, you know. But John Cleese had the good sense to recognise comedy gold for the mining right there. So apparently that's where the inspiration for Basil Faulty came in, because of this manager who was apparently really rude to the guests, you know. And yes, so he modelled Basil Faulty on him. Oh, speaking of Faulty Towers, man, I swear to Christ, it's infuriating how dumb people can be. No, I work with a bunch of dummies at work. You know, just quite frankly, they're thick. You ever see the scene in Faulty Towers where Manuel has put the cutlery on the table? He picks up a spoon, runs over to the table. He comes back, picks up a fork, runs over to the table. He runs back, picks up a knife, and and Basil's looking at him, thinking, "What the hell?" I actually saw that happen at work. Obviously, they're Africans, so they don't move very fast. So you imagine that at a very, very slow pace, working on something, slowly walking over the bin to drop it in the bin, walking back, doing exactly the same thing, walking over to the bin, dropping it in the bin, walking back. I mean, you're talking about 15 feet, from the job to the bin, to the product. 15 feet either way. But it was a little thing, snap a little thing off and walk to the bin. It reminded me of that Faulty Towers with Manuel, how fucking stupid he was. But I saw it in slow motion with this guy at work. And, it's kind of infuriating, actually, looking at how fucking stupid this thing was that I was watching. And and I'm the kind of person, I just have to say something, say, listen, honestly, why don't you just do all of it and then go to the bin once, And apparently I'm the arsehole for, But no, I actually saw a slow motion version of that Manuel from Faulty Towers, what he did with this, cutlery, running backwards and forwards with one piece of cutlery. Yeah, I'm just not a people. I just don't. I call it. I jokingly say, well, I say I'm not really a people person. I do get on with people, certain people. I just can't abide dumb people. I just cannot be around them. It is infuriating to watch. It's just me. It's just maybe it's a fault that I have, a personality fault that I have. But I just don't like being around dumb people. It's just fucking. They make life hard. They make life difficult. They make the day difficult. And they get away with it, which is what I don't understand. I don't get away with half the amount of shit that I've seen people get away with. I've lost jobs for less than for half as what other people do. But yeah, I mean, these people, when they've got nothing to do, anyway. Royal Family Cancer says, I'm guessing the census shows that a lot of British residents weren't born here. Well, that's the thing. You start letting foreigners in, they start breeding, and then, do that long enough, they'll outnumber the proper civilian, people who's supposed to be here. Official Zorador. Oh fuck. Are you a Conway West? Actually, somebody said to me ages ago. They mentioned Kanye West, and I said, "What is she, a singer or something like this?" I honestly thought it sounded like a girl's name. I've been seeing Kanye West on the internet, on the YouTube videos and stuff, fannying around. Turns out to be a guy, but no, I'm not a fan. But no, I actually thought it was a woman. Looking at the name, Kanye West sounds like a girl's name. Basil Fawlty, that's right. The manager was a lot smaller than John Cleese in real life. Oh yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean it was just the inspiration, but the guy, yeah, apparently he was the rudest. Well, because apparently one of the examples that John Cleese said was that one of the Monty Python team was an American, and apparently the Americans, what they do is they'll cut their meat with a knife in the right hand, right? They cut the meat. put the knife down, swap the fork to the right hand, and then eat with the, which is weird, But apparently the manager come over and says, like, we don't do that here. What are you doing? What's the matter with you? So we don't do that. We eat properly. This. And apparently they thought this was like, quite rude. But that was the kind of, person that this manager was. And actually, a funny thing is, there's he also said, actually, John Cleese was, I think he was talking to the manager or talking to one of the staff at the hotel, and he said, trying to get a bit of background information. He said, well, what's the worst thing? What's the worst thing about the job? And the porter said, I was trying to hide the dead bodies. What? And it's like, yeah. What happens is you get the old people who are sort of like, they're not in great health. They just figure, right, I want to die comfortably. They'll rent the room. They'll chug a load of pills and a bottle of scotch or whatever, chug a load of painkillers, and then basically die, right? Because they know that the hotel will give them a decent, that they will deal with it. If they die at home, they're going to be there for 4 months before anybody finds them, right? The cat will eat them, and it's going to be a big mess. But they die in a hotel, at least they know that the ambulance is going to be called. They'll be taken to the hospital. They'll be taken down the morgue. They'll be given a burial, and all the stuff. They won't be there for months, going all fucking, rotten. So apparently that used to happen quite, not all the time, but quite regular. Old people would top themselves, knowing that they wouldn't be there for months before they're getting found. And and then he thought, of course, comedy gold, rattling around again, and that's what that inspired that. It was, I think it was called the Kipper and the Corpse, I think it's called, where a guy goes up, he dies up in his room overnight, and Basil Fawlty's shitting himself because he's thinking that he died of poison from an out-of-date kipper that he cooked him the night before. So that's where the inspiration came for that, for the Kipper and the Corpse, if you ever want to watch that on YouTube. Funny enough, anybody, if I'm correct, I think they only made like 12 episodes of Fawlty Towers, which is amazing. Consider how old. I think it was like, it's been a long time since I've actually got the box set down there somewhere. I think it was like 1975, 1979, around that, when Fawlty Towers came out. So that's like 40 years ago, and it goes to show, I mean, it's funny enough, talking about, like Fawlty Towers, say it was like 1979, 1980, 2000, that's 40 years ago-ish. There are still lines, I will, occasionally, when the occasion comes up, I will actually quote, and I've heard other people quote Fawlty Towers lines, like somebody's complaining about something. Oh, what would you like? Mickey Mouse shape? Smarty shape? Amphibious landing craft shape? You take it, that's one of the lines out, is a famous line out of Fawlty Towers. I've actually I've used the line. I just said to my sister, well, don't. My sister had some German lodgers once, and when I found this out, I said to her, whatever you do, don't mention the war, okay? I mentioned it once to him, and I think I got away with it, okay? She didn't get the reference at all, but no, a 40-year-old comedy, and people are still able to quote those lines, and if you're at a certain age, you're still able to know what the fuck they're talking about. I was, years ago, I was in the loading bay at a place, and one of the maintenance guys talking away, and the subject of fork handles came up. And immediately, of course, the younger people, they don't know what the bloody hell is he talking about, but, it's all fork handles. Of course, anybody of an age will know that that's a Two Ronnies sketch. Okay, the customer comes in, asks for fork handles. He gives him 4 candles. 1, 2, 3, 4 candles in light, makes them light. Um, but no, a fork handle, a handle for a fork, for your garden. Fork handles. That's a gag that's 40 plus years old, and people are still. That's the mark of a good comedy. You don't need 50 episodes. You don't need 100 episodes. You don't need fucking 11 seasons of something. You just need 12 episodes, or in the Fawlty Towers, or a few, a few long-running seasons for the two Ronnies, and it goes to show that good comedy will last forever. Dave Allen. I worked with a guy, and he said, because I used to, when I was training at the gym, I was talking about running on the machine. And he said, when and he said to me, when you was telling me about the running machine and all that lot, I had an image in my head of an old Dave Allen sketch where you've got in the background, you've got this gymnasium building. And in the foreground, you've got these workmen, they're digging a hole in the ground. He's got a pickaxe, and he's going. All of a sudden, some sparks go up, the lights go out, and start like 6 blokes start jumping out the window. What's happened is they've hit the power cable, the running machines have come to a grinding halt, and of course you've got the guy running at 30, 40 miles an hour on the running machine. It comes to a grinding halt, and momentum takes him forward, and he runs through the window. You've got 6 guys all in a row jumping out the window. He mentioned that, and I watched that 30 years ago, and I still remember that I was telling him, But, itchy. But yeah, certain comedies, they'll just live forever, and and then when you quote these jokes, people, two Ronnies, I know, or Fawlty Towers, or whatever, But yeah, there's so many quotes out of the Fawlty Towers, if somebody's being, years ago, I haven't done it in a long time, but if somebody's being particularly thick, right, you'd say to, if somebody's being particularly fucking dumb over here, you'd say to somebody, don't mind him, he's from Barcelona. Like in Fawlty Towers, or who's that one with Ronnie Corbett and the guy, Del Boy. Del Boy was the shop boy, and Ronnie Corbett, or was it Ronnie Barker, one of the two Ronnies, he was the shopkeeper with the lisp, and he was tight as hell. And he had that till that used to snap shut and nearly take your fingers off. The running gag in that was that whatever Del Boy's character name was, the old his uncle used to take the mick out of him, saying, well, I see, that's the Hungarian in you, yeah, your mother was part Hungarian, and obviously it's coming out. Like, that was I've said that to somebody who's, people have been particularly, just making fun, if they do something, yes, it's a obviously you've got some Hungarian in you, an old gag that will, last forever as long as as long as you remember it, and and people still remember. Oh boy, get some. Jamie Ball, Mark, you should smoke some tarry. That would calm the itching down. That's the thing. I don't know what tarry is, and I don't know what itching you refer. That's the thing. So that's the thing. When I'm on a bit of a rant and I go back to the questions, it's some of them don't make any immediate sense. Oh yeah. There you go, Brian. Well, there's another one. All right, Brian. I get confused with your name, but Brian Byron. Have you ever watched With Nail and I? Yes, and I believe I've done a film review. I'm certain I have a film review on With Nail and I. And you see, there you've got a few memorable quotes. I've actually, again, quoting movie quotes to people. I was at work once, and he was talking about taking drugs, and he was being a pain. So I said, I'll take twice as much as you, and I'll run a mile. Like a quote from the movie. I demand to have some booze. That's another good one. I've said that one before. If somebody's getting you, you walk in and you want to drink, right? I demand to have some booze. Yeah, there's Camberwell carrot. That's another good. Oh, look at that. That's another good scene. Actually, I could probably get away with painting a beard on. I wonder if that would look like a big thick black beard if I was to. But yeah, that's not Camberwell carrot. If I give you a dose, you'll know that you've been spoken to. Yeah, I've done a film review on that. I'm pretty certain I have. Yeah, there's one. The funniest. I mean, there's so many funny bits in that movie. One of them is Richard E. Grant goes to him and his friend go to Richard E. Grant's uncle's house in the middle of his cottage in the middle of fucking fuck knows where, middle of the cow fields, right? And the idea is that he wanted to have a free weekend, all expenses paid, booze, food, everything, living it, getting away from the city. He does it without his friend's knowledge. He's actually trying to give his friend's ass to his homo uncle. So his uncle can ravage his friend without his friend's knowledge, until it's too late. But that's the kind of bloke this guy is, right? To get a free weekend with all the booze you can get down you, he's willing to trade his friend's cornhole to his uncle. But yeah, that's another film that it's another film that everybody should watch. It's so bloody good. But yeah, that's got some memorable lines in it. But yeah, there's quite a lot. I mean, that film's got to be 1990, I'm guessing now, but yeah, ish, 1990, 85, 90, I'm sure. Let's see. But yeah, there'll be a whole bunch of films where there'll be a line in it. In fact, you know who's a good one? There's a YouTube. There's a who used to be in Opie and Anthony, the American shock jocks. Now they've separated years ago. Anthony Cumia has a YouTube channel called Compound Media. That's his YouTube channel name, Compound Media, and he does that all the time. He'll be talking and he'll throw in a movie quote. And I actually notice a lot of his movie quotes, and I'll write in the comments, he's referring to this movie, because nobody in the comments gets it. Most of the people who he's talking to, they don't get the quote. That they just think, oh, he's talking, But if you know movies, and I mean, I've seen movies, and I kind of, I don't memorize movies, but I retain information from movies and lines and scenes and who's in it, and so I recognize a lot of them. And but he does it all the time, and he's got such an encyclopedia of lines in his head from all these movies, and he'll pull out a line to fit the conversation. He's really good at it, Yeah, Byron says it's a great movie. It is, Let's see. I'm trying to think of another one. He's we've come on holiday by accident. He's talking to the farmer. Uh, there's another scene, there's the poacher in the movie with Nail and I. He's in the bar and he's sort of giving the landlord some pheasants and some eels, you know, for you know, in exchange for money or you know, pints of lager. I can't remember his name. He used to have a TV show. Michael Affleck. I don't know, maybe. But yeah, he pulls his eel out of his trousers and says, right there you go, I've got an eel. And it's wriggling around. So he bang, straight on the bar and then hands it over. This thing was just stunned, you know, but from the lake to the pub, it was just stunned. And then it woke up, so just smashes it onto the bar. Oh, there you go, he's dead now. Oh, that's funny. Oh, yeah, Jamie Ball, Scrubbers! I've actually done that. Although not with the word, you know, threw themselves into the road. Yeah, he shouts out, they're going in the car, those dilapidated car, and he shouts out the window, these schoolgirls, Scrubbers! You know, I've actually done that on the way back to, way back from a car boot. I remember I was with, you know, anyway, this girl. She was in the car with me, and I'm driving down the road, and I said, we're talking away. And we're coming back from a car boot, and I see this black woman on the side of the road, and she's got this big fucking basket on her head, like they do, you know. She look really weird, you know, but like this. So I'm talking away, and just, oh, excuse me a moment, Karen, wind down the window. Niggers! And then wind over the back, and then I carried on talking. She was like really shocked at this, but I thought it was funny as all hell. And but yeah, that just reminded me of doing that. I did that, but changed it to my own, you know, my own version. But yeah, she. But no, I just carried on talking. But she was like really, you know, she wasn't put out of it. She's just shocked that I actually did that, you know. But I thought it was funny as all hell. Headman, Mark, I hope you're getting by with the cost of living crisis. Yeah, well, the thing is, I'm actually... I mean, for the last, I don't know, 6-8 months, I've been doing part-time hours because I told them I was there for a little while, and I knew straight away that I could handle the job. And I wasn't getting treated all that brilliantly when I first started there. And the training wasn't all that great, to be honest. So I could see straight away that I'm gonna fucking lose my mind if I'm doing a whole, you know, what was it like, you know, 9 till 6, 9 hours with the, you know. It's not going to work out. So I told them, you know, I want to go into part-time hours. So what I did, we agreed on 10 till 3. You know, first of all, I thought, yeah, 9 till 2, 9 till, yeah, but, you know, 10 till 3 we figured out, which is perfect for me. So I'm doing part-time hours, and while I'm getting less of an income, I don't use, you know, like, I'm able to eat fairly cheap. I don't really have too many expenses. My mortgage is finished. I mean, I got the electric and the water and council tax and all that fucking shit going on. You know, I can eat cheaply because I've been doing lots of videos. You know, I buy shop brands, I buy discounted stuff that's up, the date is up that day and all that kind of stuff. I'm not a big drinker. I mean, my finger hurts. It's right on the, you know, where the joint is. You know, where and it doesn't want to heal. This bottle of vodka probably lasts a month. You know, I'm not really. I mean, when I'm doing the live streams, I'll normally drink, or occasionally when I finish work, I'll drink some vodka, and you know, but I don't get shit faced every day. You know, and it's so you know, so yeah, cheap food. I don't really buy a lot of clothes. I usually wear clothes until they just fall apart, you know, one of those types, and then I go down the charity shop and buy some more. So yeah, you know, I'm getting on fine with, you know, you know, with the short hours, you know, which is fine. The hours suit me, and you know, I'm able to live on the wages I get because I don't go crazy buying you know, extravagant stuff. You know. Okay, what we got here? Anybody want to hit the thumbs up? I'm trying to see how many. I've got 15 thumbs up. Anybody want to hit the thumbs up? Go for that. Actually, what is that? £5 and a penny. It says on that, on the top of my screen. On the top of my little right there. There's looks like a star symbol with £5 and a penny. Now Basil Fawlty sent me £5 earlier. I don't know whether that's it, but it's strange that it would have a penny on the end. Elphick, thank you. Yeah, the Autumn Stone. Elphick, Michael. I believe it's Michael Elphick. He was in the yeah. I was thinking might have been Boone. Yeah, Boone was the TV show. He played the poacher in With Nail and I. Oh, it says underneath there. Brian writes, that's right, Michael Elphick. Actually, Michael Elphick, when I went to Tesco back in 1991, of course you do an induction. You know, you go in and everybody is a bunch of you. You'll watch a safety video, and Michael Elphick was one of the guys doing the safety video. You know, about lifting stuff with your legs, not your, you know, bending over. You know, forklift. You know, watch out for forklifts and all that kind of shit. Autumn Stone. They're selling Beatles wigs in Woolworths. What is it? Is that a quote from a movie or something? So, I mean, Woolworths shut down a while back. Is that a movie quote? Autumn Stone, are you a stone or a sponge? Okay, Big Man Arnold. Mark, what do you think about Mike Cox's recent scandal? I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know who Mike Cox is. I don't know about any scandal. I don't watch English news. It's too boring and it's too depressing. Dave says, never got into With Nail and I. All my mates rant and rave about it. Tried watching it a few years ago. Didn't get into it at all. Oh, well, you're missing out. It is a slow burn. It's not an action. It's not an action-packed movie by any stretch. It's an insight into the two fucking depressing lives of these two guys, struggling actors. Living in a. Actually, I spent some time in a big house like that. It's not one of these, like, you know, Victorian houses, like huge houses, and they subdivided into individual rooms at big places. Yeah, it's kind of a slow burn, but it's all about character based. You see, what I find English movies, you see, you watch American movies, you pretty much, you got to have explosions, you got to have gunfire, you got somebody dying, and all this lot. Whereas English movies, for the most part, are character. You know, they focus on developing characters, to make the characters interesting to watch. And what these two guys are, I mean, these two guys are fucking wasters. I mean, some of the stuff they do is funny, but in a pathetic way. And then you've got the other characters, the people in their lives coming in. You got that big black guy who's good. He's like humming away. He's getting higher, you know, humming. He reminds me of Chocolate Mousse from the Val Kilmer movie, the Val Kilmer spy movie spoof. Chocolate Mousse. He reminds me of him. Let's see. Oh, okay. Autumn Stone. The quote from Withnail. Apparently, Danny the Dealer, yeah, Danny the Dealer was in one of the Alien movies, the one on the prison planet. He was the one with the IQ number is his name. You know, they used to call him like 87, because apparently that was his IQ or some number like that. What was the quote? Right, but yeah, the quote looks like they're selling Beatles wigs in Woolworths, which I don't remember. Are you a stone or a sponge? I don't remember that line either, but I'll take your word for it. They're apparently Danny the Dealer says it. Nostalgia Barn. That £5 donation was for a rendezvous next to some railings. Oh, I see. The Autumn Stone says stone or sponge. Another quote from Uncle Monty from the Withnail. Okay, that makes sense now. Are you a stone or a sponge? Because I do remember him, talking about the analogy carrots. Basically, he's trying to find out whether he's into arse sex. With asking about does he talking about carrots. Uncle Monty was asking the young bloke. Man, that's some creepy shit though. The Uncle Monty trying to arse rape his friend in the middle of the night, and his friend had no idea he was there, what his job was there. Yeah, Dave says don't bother with mainstream media either. It's just too depressing and negativity. Yeah, I mean the American one's not much better, but at least it's more interesting to watch. Brian says that was Uncle Monty. Yeah, I tell you. Yeah, I mean, I tell you, anybody out there. I mean, watch my review. Go onto my playlist. You'll see video or DVD reviews. I've only done about 6. I want to do some more. But that's one of them. Yeah, I mean, I've got loads of films here. I should do some more DVD reviews. Trouble is, I don't know how to. Like a lot of people do reviews. A lot of people do reviews, and they're able to add movie clips, so you know what he's talking about. Add movie clips to his video, which I can't do. I just got to stand here and fucking tell you about it. Brian says, great to see you live again. Yep, thank you very much. The Autumn Stone says, saw a weird news article on the BBC yesterday. The usual misery and deprivation. And then a long piece on Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. Very strange. I do remember that Dark Place. That was the hospital. That hospital one. It was like a hospital action thriller spoof. The dog, that Garth Marenghi. I mean, he's the only doctor in any TV show that carries a 357 under his seat. And all of it. They've got the shotguns, and we see on the trailer. But the hospital was haunted, but it was a spoof. So then you've got like things floating in midair. Like say on Ghostbusters, you see things floating in midair. But in this Dark Place, you see the string connected to it. Because it was that low budget, but it was supposed to be a spoof of low budget. Yeah, I used to like that show. Daily Wire. Peter B says the Daily Wire is worth checking out on YouTube. Daily Wire, yeah, that's the one with, God, can't remember his name. Somebody remind me he's a Jew and he has that thing on his head. And there's the other one. Ugh, there's a couple. I can't remember their names. I'm having a blank. Nathan said, "Have you ever had a Smirnoff Spin? Is it good?" People making shit up. I have no idea what a Smirnoff Spin is. Is that? I mean, I know I know they got different flavors of Smirnoff, but I don't know what a Smirnoff Spin is. Dave says Garth Merengue was great. I'm 150% behind you. That means I can change my mind by up to 50% and still be completely behind you. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it was good, you know, because it was supposed to be a serious horror TV show, you know, but there was supernatural shit going on all over the hospital, right? But it was a total spoof where the way they deal with stuff, the fact that they're carrying sidearms, you know, you see, you know, just like an American TV show, you know, and you know, there's ghosts or you know, people getting possessed and all this kind of stuff. You know, things floating around the place on strings. You know. Dave isn't. Dave says, isn't Jordan Pearson with Daily Wire now? I don't know. Jordan Pearson's all over the thing, doing talks and videos. Ah, there you go, Dave. Along the same lines as Garth Marenghi, did you ever see Sledgehammer? Yes, I did. Was on about 2 a.m. on a Sunday morning in the early 90s. Yeah, I mean, you can actually watch it on YouTube as well. I watched it a few years back. But yes, Sledgehammer was great. You see, that was another one where it's more of a comedy spoof of, you imagine Dirty Harry as a comedy. Like that. If you look at it like that, Dirty Harry as a comedy, and yeah, it used to be funny. It used to be really good, you know. Yeah, Dave's. Yeah, the line was, "Trust me, I know what I'm doing," and then he'd shoot through the camera. You know, I had a thought the other day. Oh, my ass is aching. I had a thought the other day when I was at work, and I'm thinking about all, you know, how you know, like how much crap they put on the television, okay, especially through the 80s and 90s, England and America. And the thought was, I was trying to think of all the TV shows which had somebody solving crime and their chosen profession was nothing to do with crime. Okay, for example, one of them was Quincy, for example. Okay, this old guy living on a fucking boat out in the, you know, harbour. He was a forensic pathologist, I think. You know, he cut up the bodies and stuff. You know, he's got no business solving crime. His job was to find out, you know, basically help the police with, okay, well, he died from this, and he did this, and he, you know, he's got no. But again, he's got no business solving crime, but he was solving crime. Another one was, you know, you remember in England, you had Felicity Kendall, right, from The Good Life, and you had some big bird. They were, their name, what was it? Rosemary and Thyme. Okay, get this. Rosemary and Thyme. They were landscape gardeners, of course. Fucking names like Rosemary and Thyme. Well, what the fuck else are they going to be doing, right? Rosemary and Thyme, landscape gardeners solving crime on the side, okay? But there's a stack of them. I mean, I was thinking about it the other day, and there's loads of them. I mean, if anybody's got any, oh yeah, oh there you go, Brian. Heart to Heart, a couple of millionaires solving crime. What the millionaires don't go out and solve crime. You know, they got better things to do to, you know, than get murdered. All right. But yeah, every week they're out there solving somebody's murder, solving some crimes because the police are too stupid to do it for themselves. Heart to Heart, that was one that I hadn't thought of. Oh, Father Dowling solved crimes as well. Yeah, Father Dowling, that sounds familiar. That's the guy with the English, wasn't it, with the curly hair? He was on that TV show, Mock the Week, or Have I Got News for You, or one of them lot, you know. The one with the one with Stephen Fry as the question asker. I don't know. When they met, yeah, when they met, it was Moida. That's it. In his because he's got that was the Max was the butler. He was the butler / bodyguard type, but he was like from Brooklyn. When they met, it was Moida. Yeah, there was loads. There was there's been another one. There's been let's see, all of them still. Oh, Jonathan Creek, yeah. I remember that, yeah, Jonathan Creek was the guy with the curly hair who was on that Stephen Fry show. The one where he asked the question, you know, he'll ask a question and then they come up with the answer. Jonathan Creek, yeah, I can't remember his real name, but that was Jonathan Creek. Yeah, another, but there's loads. Let's see. Dave says it was Tom Bosley who played the father in Happy Days. Actually, I don't. Actually, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I have Tom Bosley. Actually, oh, what Tom Bosley as in the Charlie's Angels? Brian says Eddie Shoestring. He was a DJ. Actually, I remember the TV show Shoestring. I can't remember too much, but yeah, there was a TV show called Shoestring. Another one was, what's that one with, you know, the guy, I'm mind blown. He was in the movie, he was in the TV show Deadwood. He played Swidgen, you know, the pronunciation from Mr. Wu. Swidgen, the owner of the Gem Saloon. Whatever his name is, he was in a TV show where he was an art dealer or an antiques dealer, and he was fighting crime on the side. What was the name of that show? Anybody? Lovejoy, if anybody, yeah, Lovejoy. Again, Lovejoy, antiques dealer / crime fighter. Oh, English Heart is in the house. I was talking to Ronan Kelly. He bought some cheap lighter fluid for his barbecue. Oh, he's talking to Autumn Stone, the Michael Yip. He was in The Chinese Detective. Michael Yip, he was the Chinese Detective. Brian goes on to say the A-Team. Mind you, yeah, I suppose. I mean, they were ex-military. In fact, they was on the. In fact, they were on the run from the military. So you'd think they'd be trying to keep a low profile, right? But yeah, they were fighting crime every week. You know, considering that they were. Well, they were mercenaries. So I don't know. Oh, actually, yeah. Did you ever see that's from Dave, did you ever see Midnight Caller? Ex-cop turned late night radio host, Gary Cole. Good Night America, wherever you are. Yeah, I do remember that, that radio DJ, Midnight Caller. Yeah. Yeah, Gary Cole. He was in Talladega Nights. He played the dad, you know. Oh, yep, there you go. Brian Byron, the Fall Guy, is another one. An American stunt, that was Lee Majors. An American stuntman fighting crime while he's not throwing himself out of windows on fire. All right. The Fall Guy, yeah. I'm the unknown stuntman that makes Eastwood look so fine. That was the lyrics of the song. English Heart, I suppose Sherlock Holmes was an amateur detective. Interesting. Interesting. He was an amateur detective. He was nothing to do with the police. You're right there. Ronan Callie. Mark, did you like Perry Manson? I don't know. Are you talking about Perry Mason? He was, wasn't he a lawyer in a wheelchair, I think? If you mean Perry Mason. Oh, actually, no. All right. Autumn Stone says Gary Coleman from Different Strokes. No, I don't. I think that's I think that's a different. I'm thinking Gary Coleman. And he was in a movie, Office Space. And he was, you know, he was the boss saying, he's talking really slow. I'm gonna need you to come in over the weekend, okay? You know, talking like that. I'm thinking that was Gary Coleman, but that little black kid, I'm thinking Gary Cole. Gary Cole, wasn't it Gary? Wasn't he Gary Coleman, the little black kid? What are you talking about, Willis? For Different Strokes. Singing now. I tell you what though, Peter B. The Singing Detective with Michael Gambon. Now, I remember that show, and I was really into that show. That was a very interesting bit of television there. You know, for those who don't know, what it was, Michael Gambon was in hospital, and what he'd done, he had this like skin disease where he was like, you know, skin was all dried and fucked up. And he was in hospital getting lathered up with, you know, creams and getting treated. And we used to have flashbacks, I think, of when he was a kid. And it was his life as a, you know, as a growing up as a kid. I believe it's a very interesting show. The Singing Detective. Yeah. I mean, I remember as a young, I can't remember how old I was, but I was really into that show because it was so interesting, you know. Yeah, Autumn Stone. Oh, yeah. Office Space. Yeah. Well, you see, that's who I'm thinking is Gary Coleman or Gary Cole or the manager. Brian says, yeah, Perry Mason. Dave, best actual detective was of course Columbo. Just one more thing. Yeah. Oh, he's a bastard, wasn't he? He would. He'd be like, you know, he'll be the guy who's done the crime. He'd be thinking he'd get away with it. Okay, and he's just one more thing. You know, I mean, it's like, oh fuck, I thought I was getting away with that. You know. But that was an interesting show actually, because you know, like most shows, most crime shows, right? What happens is sometimes you'll see the crime at the beginning taking place, but you don't know who's done it. And the object of the show is to unravel who done the crime. Now, in the Columbo, they went the other route. They show you who done the crime at the top of the show. You know, think, oh shit, well, there's no mystery. The mystery is how they solved the crime, not who done it. We know who done it. We saw them at the first 2 minutes of the show. the mystery is how they unravel the clues to solve the crime. You know, it's a very interesting concept. Yeah, Autumn Stones is my mistake. Cole Coleman. Yeah, I think Gary Coleman. I think he was the little black kid in Different Strokes, and Cole was the other one, the white manager guy. Just one more thing. Yeah, Byron Knight Rider. Yeah, yeah, I guess. He worked for a secret government thing, didn't he? With a car that talks. Uh, yeah, Kit. Knight Industries 2000. That was the KITT. Oh, Gary Coleman, the kid from Different Strokes, is from Dave. Died a few years ago. Fell downstairs and at home and hit his head. I didn't know that. I mean, I figured he was. I don't think he was well for a long time. Mad Maz, Mark, do you watch any Bollywood movies? Nope. No, I mean I've seen them. There's too much singing and dancing for my liking. Plus, I can't understand a bloody word they're saying. But the thing is, well, they're like a lot of these, some foreign movies. You know, if you watch the body language, you can figure out what's going on. But no, it's too much singing and dancing for my liking. Oh, Peter B. Manimal. Manimal. Now, that was an interesting. You know, that had Linda, the woman from Terminator, the woman in that, whatever her name is. Oh, it had Ron Perlman. Was it Manimal? No, no. I'm thinking of the Manimal. No, no. You know what? That was a different one. That was like a Beauty and the Beast thing. Manimal was a guy. I remember a white guy. And for some reason, somehow, he could change into a tiger. Manimal. Yeah, I don't know what would kick it off. I don't know whether it was like the Hulk, where he'd get angry, I don't know, or I don't know what the fuck. But he used to be able to turn into, I'm pretty certain he was like some kind of tiger or Black Panther or something. Manimal. Yeah. That was, there you go, Peter B. Hamilton. Yeah, Linda Hamilton, I think her name is. From the Terminator. No, yeah, because she was in a show with Ron Perlman, and he was some big Lion King thing, right? But he was like a half man, half fucking Chewbacca, right? But he could talk English. And I think he lived in the sewer, and I think they fought crime and stuff, you know. Yeah, but what was that called? It was different than Manimal. Yeah, I think it was some kind of Beauty and the Beast kind of spin, you know. Alan Pickett. What do you prefer, Golden Wonder crisps or Walker's crisps? Actually, I never see Golden Wonder crisps anymore. I see Walker's, I see shop brands, I see other brands. I never see Golden Wonder. It'd be interesting to try Golden because I haven't tried those in years. And no, that's the thing. If I see the sausage and tomato flavour, I'll give it a go. But yeah, I never see Golden Wonder. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you know the worst one. I don't know whether she fought crime. Remember the flying nun? Oh my God, I was thinking of that. You know, I mean, the flying nun. Was it Julie Walters? I want to say. You know, like the nuns are in the black and white, and they've got the head thing, and what she used to do. I think she used to turn the little thing. There's a bit of a breeze coming. Bit of a breeze. She'd do this, and then she could fly. The most stupidest shit I've ever seen. Imagine if a guy walked into the if an exec walked into the TV studio and says, "Right, fellas, I've got this fucking great idea. Right? She's a nun, okay, and she uses the wings on her head in a part of a unit to fly, because the wing beat the shit out of him, throw him out the fucking door." It was garbage, but that was the kind of shit they used to fly back in the 80s. That Of course they'll never get away with that garbage anymore. But no, it was absolute shit, and I don't even know what she did. I mean, she flew. Did she solve crime? I don't know, but yeah. It was crazy. The hat, the headdress they used to wear used to fold out and act as wings. She just, it was just the wind that took her. Yeah, there must be. There's other ones. Yeah, jobs that. Yeah. Jobs that have nothing to do with crime fighting, but they'd be doing that on the side. Oh, that Dick Van Dyke, the one from Mary Poppins, the movie, Dick Van Dyke. He was in a TV show. He played a doctor, and he was a doctor, a crime fighting doctor, and his son, his real life son, also played his son in the show, who was in Battlestar Galactica. I think the TV movie, Battlestar Galactica, the TV show. So his real life son played his screen son, who played a police officer in this show. And it was the dad who was always, helping the son fight crime because his son was bloody useless, like they are. Yeah. Yeah. There's someone, I should have wrote them down because I had a whole list in my head. Yeah. Interesting though. All right, let's see. Oh, look at that. I've been going an hour and 37 minutes. I've got a bunch of people watching. Yeah. If you've not hit the thumbs up, by all means. And I guess I tell you what, I guess everybody's okay with the old Boggy face paint, because I remember when I'd done this, I don't, it was either last Halloween or the Halloween before, I did the face paint, and the comments section went mad, which was kind of amusing in a way. But yeah, I mean, people are asking me every 2 minutes, what's with the face paint and all this lot, and I'd have to explain. And what it was of course Old Boggy and Papa Lazu, but of course, but there were certain people, that no matter how much you explain, they're not going to listen. And yeah, certain people left, they come back or whatever, they said they were going to leave. I haven't had, I was kind of expecting, I was not hoping for it, but I was ready for a deluge of, that's a word I don't use very often, a tsunami of hate, But no, it's been pretty civil from all accounts. In the comments here, it's been quite civil. I guess people have wised up. I guess they've grown up a bit, because when I first done it, there was a lot of people who used to get upset. Oh, Mark, you're being racist. You can't do that. You can't do black. Oh, fuck you. I'll do what I like. I'm a taxpayer. So but now I guess people have gotten used to it, and they're sort of like they realise, because at the time, last time I'd done it, I said to them, listen, the sky isn't falling down, the world isn't burning, all right, the earthquake isn't opening up and swallowing all the houses. Life's going to go on just because somebody paints their face black. And I guess people have come round, and yeah, it's good. It's good that people. At the time, I appreciate. I didn't. At the time, it was what I didn't realise at the time, but I realised afterwards. It's a good way of, what's the word? thinning the herd, if you like. While I appreciate everybody who watches, I mean, I see. A lot of the same names coming back all the time in the comments and all the rest of it. But it was a case of, if anybody gets upset by it, they're not the people who I want watching me on my channel. This channel is not for you. So, a dozen left. But, yeah, I guess because nobody's really commenting on it, except for English Heart here. You painted your face, question mark. Yeah, it's old Boggy's back. Which I'll put as the title of the video when I come off live. But yeah, you'll remember English Heart. The last time I went with old Boggy face paint, all the hate that came. Yeah, I mean, I remember you were one of the few that actually stepped up. For the side of righteousness, and had my back. You were good. Brian Byrne. Brian Byrne. I don't know why that's so difficult, but Brian Byrne. Same happened over here recently. Over here, what is that? In Ireland or over here in where he's living in America? Anyway, it says Conor McGregor's mother had blackface for Halloween. Yeah, good on her. Yeah. Tell the snowflakes to go shove it. Yeah, good. English Hearts, you look like me when I do a barbecue. Mad Maz, do you wear the blackface in work? No, actually, no. We've already got enough people with the black faces at work. You don't need. In fact, you don't need one extra. No, No, it would be, actually, the thing is, I mean, it's not so bad now, but I wouldn't want to wear this all day. I'd want to clean it off, I wouldn't want to be, I'm not big on, I don't put creams and stuff on my face. I don't put gel in my hair. I don't like any of that shit. But wearing it all day, it'd get a bit uncomfortable, I think. Oh, Brian says Ireland. Okay, so his mum's in Ireland because he moved to America. What's he got? Like anybody with any sense, as soon as they get some money, they piss off over to America. But I guess his mum's in Ireland still. But yeah, if she's doing blackface, good on her. Yeah. In fact, I was jokingly saying there that we've got enough black faces at work, and we don't need one extra. But the truth is, I am one of 2 white people that live there, work there. The only other one, she's Greek. Yeah, she's Greek. She's white and Greek, and I'm white and English, and that's it. The rest of them are Indians or blacks. Yeah. So it's a bit of a problem sometimes because when these, because I mean, the thing is, I've got nobody to talk to at work, which is a bit of a pain sometimes, because I do miss intelligent conversation with work colleagues. It's very rare that I've been in a job. When I was on the bins, that's where I could have a conversation, an intelligent conversation with people. Believe it or not, because you're in a van. You're working in close. I mean, you're doing your work, doing your council bullshit and stuff. But when you're in the van, traveling or on your lunch break, sometimes you can have a decent conversation with people, which is very rare in my case for places I work. But yeah, where I'm at, they always say, because I mean, I swear to God, this is going to sound really bad, but I honestly said this and I meant it as the truth. I said to my supervisor once, because he was, you know, complaining about not being able to get any decent staff, and I said, listen, what you need, get one or two white 52-year-olds like me. Just get one or two, and you'll be done. Get rid of all these. All you need is me and two others, and we'll straighten this place out. But he said, you know, we'll look, find some for me, and you know, which is. But apparently, it's hard to get white 50-year-olds to come work for you. You know, apparently. So we're stuck with the Africans. You know, and fuck me, you get four of them together. Christ Almighty. Ugh. I mean, they're either talking or sitting on their ass or talk, you know, really moving around really slow without a care in the world. Ugh, it's a nightmare. But yeah, no, but I meant it when I said to him, just you know, get another 50-year-old white man, and at least you get some work out of them, you know. Which is true, but apparently it's difficult to find, you know. Apparently. Oh, Mad Maz, do you still have the eBay store? Yes. Oh, fuck me. 5611 it ends with. MADUR dash 5611. I think I'm pretty certain that's it. MADUR 5611 with a space dash in the middle. Yeah. If anybody goes on that, you're gonna look at some stuff. I got some, you know, I've been selling some stuff. You know, some DVDs. What else? Anyway, yeah. Actually, I've got a whole bunch of. I used to collect McDonald's toys years ago as a little hobby. Yeah, I've got hundreds of them. I've got them all bagged up over here. The thing is, nobody's really interested. I mean, there's hundreds of people selling McDonald's toys and Burger King toys, you know, on eBay. But I've got mine in bags. I've tried to cram as much because I've got these big CityLink plastic bags. You know, you put your stuff in, you seal it, and you know, got them from work. I've got like 40. They're in 40s and 50s. You know. I don't know whether people don't want to buy that many at once, you know. But the trouble is, you buy them singly. I mean, because the thing is, you pay a certain amount in postage anyway, right? To put a couple of toys in an envelope, it's going to cost around £3.35 to send it. Whether you send 6 or 60, it's you know, it's going to be roughly the same. You know, it goes up to a certain level before the price increase. So it's more economical to put them in big bundles, you know, in 40s and stuff. Yeah, but I don't think anybody seems to want them, at least not in that quantity. But yeah, I mean, if people did buy them, you know, they can just resell them individually if they want, you know. But I just want to get shot of them, right? So yeah, anybody want to have a ganders at my eBay site? MADUR dash 5611. I believe that's the thing. I can't verify that because you know, I have to turn off the live thing because I'm, you know, it's on the phone there. But yeah, I'm pretty certain that's it. Yeah, I've got some DVDs, some Tazos, I've got some discs. Anyway, I got some round discs, you know, because they're shiny. I use actually, I got them on the plot. I've got some on the plot. You know, they work as mirrors. You tie them up with a bit of string, and you know, the chickens look at themselves. But you can use them to scare birds away from your plants. Sold a few of those. Anyway, it's a whole bunch of shit on there. You know, if you want to have a ganders. Anybody does buy something, they get a free, you know, those red cards that I had printed up ages ago. I put one of those in every envelope that I send off. I don't know whether it's drumming up any extra. There's only, you know, there's not been that many, but you know, just trying to drum up a bit of business for the channel. I don't know if anybody's actually used it. Nobody's actually said, "Oh, I got your thing in the post, and I found this card." Nobody's done it, so. English Hearts. Have you tried Iceland curries? They're very good for the price. Well, actually, I have tried a whole bunch of. I've done loads of reviews ages ago of Iceland products, but I haven't been to Iceland in ages. Yeah, Peter B, have you noticed that the security guard industry is run by ethnic minorities? Yeah, actually, when I've worked at John Lewis and Tesco and big places like that, it's all the Johnnies that are in the security. Yeah, they're all getting security jobs for some reason. Peter B, just watch the auditors channels on YouTube. I don't know what that is, Peter B. The auditors channels. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I've not heard of that. Brian Byron, couldn't agree with you more, Mark. Where I work is full of teens who have no more interest in working. Exactly. Yeah, we've had a whole bunch of youngsters working there as well. You know, like from college. You know, and what they do, when they have a break from college, they come in and do some work. And let me tell you, they are fucking lazy. Let me tell you, they come in, they piss around. They think they think the forklifts are fucking Dodgem car or something. You know, they fanny around on it. And they crash into stuff every so once in a while. But that's the thing, that they don't train anybody. You know, basically they give them about 5 minutes of training. Okay, this is the forward and back, up and down. Right, there you go. But yeah, these youngsters, they don't know how to do a day's work. They come in, they piss about, they stand around talking. I've seen them. I mean, I'm the kind of guy, right? Well, I like to be busy all day. I don't like to be standing around. It's just not what I just don't like I'll stand there and chat to somebody for 5 minutes. Sure, I mean, I'll do that once in a while. But I'm not one to stand around and watch people running around like fucking crazy doing the work while I'm just watching them being an arsehole. I just wouldn't have the, I just don't do that, But these youngsters, I've seen them. They'll sit on a box looking through the window, and as soon as the manager comes, right, the manager's here. Okay, yeah, I was actually moving this broom about. Yeah, that's what I was doing. No, they were doing shit all until they saw him coming through the window, No, they're just lazy as hell. But the trouble is, they keep employing them. These college kids, these Africans, and they fucking argue with these Africans. Jesus. And the thing is, I mean, I'm not in a supervisory position, okay? I've been there a year and 3 months, maybe. September, October, November. Yeah, about a year, 2 months, a year, 3 months or so, And most of that has been, some of that was full-time, some of it was on the agency. When I joined, the longest serving person, he left after about 2 weeks because he was going back to college and getting an education, right? So then that left myself and one other, right? The forklift driver. After about 4 months, he left to go someplace else. He went to Africa or something to see his relatives and come back, and he's working somewhere else, and it was all kinds of shit. So that leaves me, as somebody who's been there like a little over a year, as the longest serving person, other than the Greek woman and the manager, Everybody else has been in for a couple of months, a few weeks. They come in, they go, they come in, they go. Somebody else comes in, they go as well. So the thing is, I mean, while I'm not in a supervisory position in any stretch, but you'd think that when a guy shows up and he's looking at me, you'd think he would listen to somebody who's been there a year. You know, because when they start doing something and I say, listen, stop that. If you do it this way, it'll be a lot easier. It'll be less strain. It'll be less aggro. It'll be easier for you. Make less grinding on the machine. Or whatever else. They fucking argue with you. You know, they don't want to, and then you say them to somebody. You show them something. You explain it. And you say to them, right, okay, have you got it? Do you understand what I've just said? Because if you don't, I'll do it again for you. I'll explain it again. No, I've got it. They turn their back and they do the complete opposite. They do exactly what they want to do rather than what I've just explained to them that needs to be done. All the time, I have to go to them and say, listen, because we're put, like in a warehouse, you've got wooden pallets, okay? We're explaining them all the time. Do not use broken pallets because broken pallets are dangerous. You pick them up, you put them on the shelves. If they fall, it could fucking kill somebody. All the time I have to watch out for broken pallets because, make sure they're not using them. Wrapping pallets in a certain way. Doing stuff that might cause a problem. What they do is when we got what we call pallet trucks. They got forks with a handle, and you pump it up, and the forks raise 6 inches off the ground to move pallets around the warehouse. When they're done with it, they'll just leave it. A bit like when you go around the street and you got those scooters that you rent with your phone. Some fucking arsehole finish with it and just leave it in the middle of the path. Leave it in the doorway, in the shop doorway, or some stupid shit like this, and then you've got to climb around it. And they'll do that with machinery at work. They're finished with it. Just leave it there. Or they'll drain the battery. We've got an electric pallet truck as well. Instead of a pump on it, it's a battery. They'll drain the battery, and they just leave it somewhere. So now we've got to try and drag this dead machine over to They just don't care and they don't listen. And I've had a few arguments with them. Leaving open blades, the Stanley knife. I got a different person. Somebody asked me for my knife. I keep a knife on my hip, a Stanley knife. Handed it to them. All right, they used it. They handed it back with a fucking blade open. And I said, "Did you just hand me an open fucking blade?" And then, "Oh yeah, I Anyway, but that's a tiny bit. But these other guys, they're supposed to put their knives back in a box. They won't retract the blade. They'll put it back in the box with the blade open. So you go in there. You're diving in for a knife. You're diving in for a pen. You want a pencil sharpener. You dive in. You got to watch out because you'll stick your hand on the open blade. And then they'll leave open blades all over the tables. It is and of course you pull them up for it. You say, listen, you realise how dangerous that is? You're going to stick somebody with it. You can get infected and cut somebody's hand, or they put the hand on, and they think you're the arsehole. I had an argument with one guy. He argued that he didn't like being spoken to in that way. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, listen, you stop leaving open blades out where I can put my hands, and I'll stop telling you about it. How about that? Is that a deal? Is that a deal for you? Yeah, you like that? And he's like, he's mouthing, and he's carrying on. I say, listen, I'm trying to make you a deal. I'll make you a deal. You stop leaving fucking knives around where I can stick my hands, and I'll stop telling you about it. All right? How about that? This is how the argument went. And no, they just do what they want. Anyway, how do I get onto that rant? And I'll tell you what. But yeah, it is a nightmare sometimes. And the four of them do the work of one, because they go working so slow, and then they're chatting, and then, Yeah, one of them was that guy that I told you about earlier, where he's putting the corners on the pallet, cardboard corner. These protective corners for each four corners of the pallet product on the pallet. It was too tall, so you have to snap some off so it doesn't go above the height of the product on the pallet. He would snap it off, walk 15 feet to the bin, put it in, walk back, snap another corner off, walk the 15 feet to the bin, put it in the bin, walk the 15 feet back, take it, snap off the third. Just snap all four and walk the bin. That's what I told. It's one of those lot, Yeah, what we got? Yeah, Peter B is talking about fireworks going off around here. You know, yeah, I mean, earlier we've had some, you know, we've had a few around here. What was it? I think it was bonfire night yesterday, wasn't it? You know, I've never understood because on one of my bus routes, there's shops that sell fireworks. They got signs outside fireworks. I've never understood the logic. I mean, of course, I understand the logic. The logic is to make money, but selling gunpowder to the general public. Who thought that was a good idea? Okay. I actually, what was it, Sainsbury's or Tesco 30 years ago, I actually wrote a letter to them, one of the supermarkets. I said, listen, I realise you're trying to make a profit, but do you honestly think it's a good idea selling fireworks or selling gunpowder to the general public, to the untrained, you know, goof on the street, you know? Their response was, well, you know, yeah, we're just giving them what they want, you know, like this. That's what they wrote. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, well, people want fucking cocaine, but it doesn't mean you know. But yeah, it's selling, all right? So, I mean, any other day of the year, if you're in possession of gunpowder, you're probably going to be known as a terrorist, okay? But that one day of the year, you can legally buy gunpowder stuffed into a tight container, you light it and you throw it out on the road and everything's fine. Okay, and then you've got your silly sods who will open up a bunch and make one big bomb. All right, kids will do that. You get the gun, you buy a pack of you know, little bangers, a couple of packs of them. Take all the powder out, put them into you know, a little, you know, into a can. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what the stats are, but when I was a kid, every year you'd hear about it on the television. Some kid lost his fingers. Because, I mean, they'll be lighting it like, what, you know, they haven't got enough sense to throw it, or they don't throw it in time, or somebody throws a firework at them and they catch a firework to the face, you know. But yeah, every year it used to be a common thing. You'd hear about people losing limbs, people losing an eye. Nowadays, they don't seem to publicize this. They don't seem to. You don't hear about it on the television, on the news. You know, this year we had, you know, over the country we had 135 firework injuries or whatever. You know, you don't hear about that stuff. You don't hear about people losing limbs or eyes or you know, losing a nostril or something. But so we don't know how bad it is. I mean, it can't be any better, surely, than what it was 30 years ago. The fact that, I mean, you're selling fireworks, or selling, well, I say fireworks, they call it fireworks, but basically you're selling gunpowder to untrained civilians. I mean, admittedly, it's the easiest thing in the world. All you got to do is take it out of the box, light it and throw it, right? Or stick it in the ground, light it and run. But, you know, it's gunpowder, you know? You wouldn't, if you needed a building demolished, you wouldn't go ask some schmuck off the street to get, no, you'd get a professional. You get somebody who knows how to deal with gunpowder. But once a year, they'll sell it to anybody, you know, of age who will walk in the door. I just don't get it. You know, if you want, I mean, I'm not saying ban fireworks. I mean, have legitimate organisations, you know, like they do here in Milton Keynes. They have a place, they have a big thing, and they go in the field. Oh, my knee. And then they have an organised company who, you know, or get the fireworks. They're in the middle of the field on the road, and they send them up, and then all the thousands of people all gather around, you know, and they're all watch it, and it's all great. They're professionals who deal with this stuff. Anyway, so but yeah, I just don't understand why they insist on. Because I tell you what, though, I mean, if I was a sick asshole who wanted to do some damage, right? I would just wait for Halloween for bonfire night, the week, because that's the week or so before Halloween. I'd be going to 20 different shops, buying all the fireworks I could buy without causing suspicion. Do a little, buy a little bit from 20 different shops, gather it all together and put it into one big bean tin, and then you've got, one big explosive. If I was a sick fuck, I would. That's the way to do it, I mean, you figure gunpowder's hard to get hold of, yeah, for the average person, but bonfire night, just you do that. You just open up every bit of firework, pour it in one thing, pack it with some shrapnel, and that's been done. Remember, there was a guy years ago. He was all the queer areas, all the queer pubs in, I don't know, London. So some guy was letting off nail bombs with all the homos and that, killing off a whole bunch of them. He did the same thing, bean tin, gunpowder, shrapnel, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of nutters, and don't make it easy for them, So, but it is that easy, Palletizer. Justin Hamilton, I think they're called palletizer. No, well, yeah, but I think you might be talking about a pallet. We call it a pallet truck. 2 forks, and you got a long handle, and you pump the handle, and then the forks gradually crank up the raise, and it lifts the pallet. Yeah, we got a few of those, and we got an electric one. Let's see, Peter B. Crazy days. When I were a lad, I worked at the end of a flash liquid line. Oh, flash liquid, is that the detergent? I worked at the end of a flash liquid line. Had to tie in the boxes and shrink wrap the pallet. If I got it wrong, the whole stack would fall when lifted with a fork truck. Yeah, we get that. Mainly because our forklift drivers are not trained, and they laugh at me when because I don't go, because the brakes are shot. All right, I had an occasion to use I don't use the trucks at all at work. They've asked me, and I've said no, thank you. I don't, but I had an occasion to use it for 3 or 4 pallets while somebody's on lunch, and the fucking brakes are gone, and then when I come out, I said to the guy, I said, oh, yeah, I was driving the truck, and and I said, there's a reason why. And he said, well, is it? Yeah, it's because of the brakes. I said, yeah, it's because of the brakes. The brakes don't hardly work. But yeah, all the time, mostly pallets that are coming in, what happens is they pick them up, they turn around, they're going all over the place, and they slide off the pallets because they're not done properly on the other depot before they come here, and it's a case of but you can get away with it if you bloody well drive properly. Okay, it can be done. Not the best thing, but when we send them out, we try and seal them, we try and shrink wrap them to the product to the pallet, so they don't come flying off. Because we send stuff to Hong Kong, to Krakow, and Poland, Arab Emirates, all over the place, English Heart, yeah, no one gives a shit anymore. Yeah, nobody's got any, because the thing is, the way I see it, I mean, I've been on the agency, I was on the agency for a long time, let me tell you, and being on the agency sucks ass. So now I'm in a position where I'm in a full-time job. Well, I'm contracted there, I'm a full-time, I'm a contracted person, although I work part-time hours. being the person that I am and the work ethic that I've grown over the years, I give a shit. All right, I want to give a good day's work for my wage, and also in a roundabout, it's how do I describe it? I figure my job security. I kind of like working there. It's not the most exciting place, but I'm settled in. I know the job. Um, I get the impression that I can be quite a number of places that I've worked at. I get in there, I stay there for a while, I learn the job, and and people can trust me to be able to do the job. To be left alone, given a task, and I'll go do it. Given a task, and it'll get done because Mark's on it. He's not going to be fanning around. Somebody who can be trusted. And so I look at it as, I'm working to guarantee my my job there. If everybody was like these other folks that are working there, they come in, they do as little as possible, they're chatting around all day. The company doesn't make any money. The door's closed. Well, what happens when the company starts losing money? What's the first thing that goes, right? The fucking workforce, right? They get rid of half the workforce and they make the other half do the work of the people who left. If I do my job to a standard which is helpful to the trying to get product out the door, to keep the lights on or the doors open, it means that I get to work there longer. So we're kind of in a roundabout way. Aside from the fact that it makes the day go quicker. I'm the type of person who does a day's work, and also if I do a day's work, it means that I'm prolonging my my time there. Because I'm not ready to move on just yet. I'm settled in. I'm kind of another job. So yeah, whereas these college kids comes in, and these Africans, they come in, they don't give a flying fuck. If the company shuts down tomorrow, they'll just get on the agency and tell them to put them in a new place. They don't give a flying toss, So anyway, so that's, yeah, so English Harp, yeah, they just don't give a shit. Hamilton, yeah, Simon Weston used to be... Justin Hamilton says, yeah, Simon Weston used to front a TV campaign about the dangers of fireworks in the 80s. Most likely, yeah. You have to go back to the 80s. I remember there was adverts, although I don't have a working television, but back then, yeah, there was adverts on fireworks, there was adverts on the Green Cross Code, adverts on a whole bunch of stuff. When the AIDS virus came about, there was ads all over the telly about that. Yeah, you don't see any, you don't hear about any ads nowadays for any of that stuff, It's crazy. Anyway, oh, blimey, look at that. 173 minutes. Is that I'm wondering, I think the counter on my screen, you won't have it on yours, but my screen, I'm sure it used to say 1 hour and 32 minutes, like that, instead of 173. So 2 hours is 120. That can't be 2 hours 50 minutes. Yeah. 3 hours is 180 minutes. Jesus, I'm 6 minutes short of 3 hours. 174 minutes now. Shit. Fuck me. Mind you, it's about 7 minutes past 10. Right. Okay. I'm going to go Alan Pickett. Do you prefer red sauce or brown sauce? Actually, I put in both. If I go to the burger van, um, and I get some chips or say a bacon in a baguette or something, I'll have them put red and brown. Although I prefer to put my own in, but a lot of places they don't. You know, they have it. You know, they don't let you. They don't put the. You know, they put it on themselves, which is a bit of a drag. But yeah, I'll have them put red and brown. Matthew Green, Mark, what's with the blackface? Well, okay. Well, it may. It's a bit late, but it may have escaped your attention. It was Halloween several days ago. I can't remember when it was. Anyway, it was several days ago. So this is. I've painted my face like a character called Old Boggy. Old Boggy is a character in the TV series Jeeves and Wooster with Hugh Laurie, Stephen Fry. There you go. It's somewhere in the later seasons. Old Boggy. It only comes up in one episode. But yeah, you know, Old Boggy, some demon that comes up during a certain month of the year. Anybody roaming around the town is going to get dragged off to hell. And Old Boggy, yeah, so some characters have to paint themselves like Old Boggy to evade the police. So yeah, you know, so yeah, so being Halloween, and I've painted myself like Old Boggy. There you go. Yeah, looks not bad, I think. See, the last time I did this, I had white. See, the thing is, the last time I had some white around the eyes and around the mouth. But the trouble is, I was wondering, but possibly a bit. See, the thing is, I bought this off of eBay, the black face paint. It cost £4, and it would have cost another £4 to get the white. So I figured, fuck it, I'll just buy. I'll just do the black, and I figured that'd be enough. Yeah, it's not bad though, you know. Yeah. Mind you, yeah, you could go around, yeah, you could commit crime. You just paint your face, during Halloween, paint your face black, go out and commit some crimes, rob some off license, you know, and anyway, all right, so that's Matthew Green. Oh. All right, Peter B. Cheers, Mark, another good live stream, interesting topics. Thank you very much. And thank you for keeping law and order. As for Peter B and George C, I believe, is the other one. Some moderators. Yeah, but I don't think they've had a whole lot of work to be doing. Not that I've seen, but they've been, you know, retracted a few comments. Oh fuck! I'm tired. Yeah, I've got to try and hope. It says on the instructions that it's easily applied. It wasn't easy to apply actually. I had to put what I did. I got a bath sponge, snipped a bit off, and you really got to rub it in there, and then sort of you got to apply it quite thickly. Because what I did, I started off pretty gentle, and it was just too thin, so I had to put it on quite thick. Hope it comes off. Shit, otherwise I've got some explaining to do on the bus tomorrow. Yeah. So anyway, it's coming up to 10:10. So I'm gonna try and wash this off. I'm gonna get something to eat. Let's see. Dave says, yeah, great stream, Mark. Thanks, and thanks for all the updates on the chucks. Ah, brilliant. Yeah, if anybody wants to see the chickens, just go onto my playlist, and it's under my allotment. You'll see all the videos I've been doing. I've still got a few more ideas. About, you know, filming them and topics and stuff, you know, feeding them and you know health checks or whatever else. So you know, I've got a few more ideas, But yeah, a lot of the videos is watching them eat, trying them with different foods. Some of the foods I know they like. Some of the foods are experimental. Um, but yeah, there's some interesting ones. So my allotments, it's called, and it'll be in the playlist. Byron, great to see you live again, Mark. Thank you very much. You should go live every weekend. Well, that's the thing. It's not always that I have something worth talking about. Normally, it's the trouble I get to. Sometimes I get into trouble on the bus, with other passengers. They're being a pain, so they've got to be straightened out, and but I haven't had too much trouble, on the bus. I mean, it's been pretty good. Actually, I did have a bit of trouble with a fucking. I get two buses to work, right? One from here to the train station, and the train station round to work. So I get on the second bus. All right, I get on. It's the same bus I get every morning. The second bus, and it drops me almost outside work. I get on the bus. It's the same number, same destination, all that kind of stuff. I get on. We're driving down the road, and instead of turning right at the roundabout, he carries on. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. Oh, okay. Something's gone wrong here. Either he's taken a wrong turn, or they're doing some road works that I've not known about, so he's got to take an alternate route. So I'm thinking, oh shit, this is, hope we don't, go too far out of my way. So the bus pulls into the bus stop to let somebody on or off or whatever. So I went to the driver. I said, listen, what's going on? You've taken a wrong turning here. How come you're not taking? He said, oh no, this bus doesn't go down that road anymore. No. I'm like, what? I'm hearing about it now. They just decided to stop that fucking bus. What it is that the bus goes from the train station to a destination, okay, and I get off halfway. So it still goes to its destination, which is why the bus said on the bus side of the bus the destination it's going to, the number of the bus and where it's going. It's just the fact that it takes a different route now to get to that end destination. And that's the problem. And I had no idea. They didn't advertise it. They just decided to, nah. Now, this bus doesn't go down. This bus is going to go a different route to get to the end destination. Now, what you need is another, a different number, but great. So I had to get off, went a bit further down the road, had to get off, had to walk for about 15 minutes. I get off. I have to walk down. I know I'm in the right industrial estate, with all the factories. But I don't know whether I'm supposed to go right, am I about to go left? I figured, right, I'll go left, I'll walk up there. Luckily, there was a courier van that, because I know there's a courier company that is near where we are. I saw that and I figured, right, well, hopefully I'm on the right track here because, I'm going to walk up. And then I noticed the road that I need with the burger van. But I had to get off I had to walk 15 minutes I had to roughly pretty much guess the direction that I needed to go down the road, then left or right, and but yeah, that was a bit of trouble. Yeah, so they just changed the timetable, and and they don't bloody say fuck all to you. They just let you work it out the hard way. So now I get a different bus, and it takes me. I get a different number bus which goes the exact same route that I needed to go. And I leap out, but that's the kind of shit you got to put up with. They jack up the prices of the monthly ticket from like 59 to 63, so it's an extra £4 a month, and they reduce the buses, so there's less buses in action, and then they decide to change the route that it's going without telling anybody, and getting home is a bastard, because. The buses just seem to show up when they like. I finish at 3, I get to the bus stop at 10 past. 2 days in a row, it was 10 past 3 when I got there, and it was 10 to 4 when the bus actually showed up. That's 40 minutes. I was standing there, waiting on the bus. And then the third day, it arrived after 15 minutes. It was like I got there sort of, I had to fucking run to the bus stop, which is, a bit of a pain. Because I figure if I get the 7 past bus, then I'm fine. If I don't get that, it's going to be another 40 minutes before the next. So I was running to the bus stop, It never showed up until about sort of, it's about 15 minutes late, which is still half an hour more, better than the waiting there for 40 minutes. Yeah, it's a fucker. It's no good looking at the timetable. They're not interested in that. No, they just show up when they bloody well feel like it. So yeah, so in the grand scheme of things, at least I haven't had any pushing matches or screaming matches with any passengers on the bus, which they're kind of funny afterwards. Pushing people off. I pushed people off the bus before because they're not moving fast enough. But that hasn't happened for a while. But yeah, it's just it's a pain in the ass. Let's see. Brian says we can give you issues to talk about. Yeah. If what's this, English Heart? I think the last time I got on a UK bus was in the 80s. I don't envy the experience. I know. I tell you what. When I was a teen, perhaps all those years ago. Actually, maybe a bit older than a teen. Maybe in my 20s, 25 years old. The buses didn't have these tracking devices where the bus driver has this screen where it tells him which bus stop to go and how you've got 2 minutes to get from this bus stop to the next bus stop, and like they never had that in the past. They were just going on basically they literally, I don't know, they winged it, right? So you could be so if you know that the bus stop that the bus is supposed to come at say 10 past 2, right? You get there 5 minutes early, and from down the street you can actually see the bus at the bus stop. He's 5 minutes early, so you're going to run, and if you're lucky, otherwise he'll drive away, and then so he's been and gone 5 minutes earlier than he should be. So if you arrive on time, you think, okay, well I'm on time. I'm about 3 or 4 minutes early, any minute now, but no, he's already been and gone. So you would have to. So he's in a bus stop, and at the times I've had to do this, and I've seen other people do it. The bus is at the bus stop. He's earlier than what he should be, and he's about to go. So you run across the road, but you're in the lane where if he pulls out, he's going to be in, of course, in England, the left lane. So you're running in that lane toward the bus, saying, stop. So basically, he can't pull out the bus stop because otherwise he's going to run into you because you're in the road running toward the bus. That's the only way you'd stop these fuckers from driving off. You have to block the bus, and stop him from, and then, that was the only way. Any road. Dave says he has his driving test in a couple of weeks. Wish me luck. Oh, good luck, Dave. What I did when I passed my test it's about a couple of weeks before I was 40, I think. So it was like 12 years ago now. What I did, I swear to God, you've got to get the highway code book and you've got to read it up, down, backwards, everything, right? To the point where I was cramming so much information in there, I was getting headaches and that. But the point is, you need to, because what they do nowadays is you go to the test center, and you can actually do it on home. You can do mock tests. Well, at least 12 years ago when they did mine, you buy I think you buy a disc or you buy a program or something for your computer, or I don't know, I can't really remember. But you've got a lot of mock tests where it'll ask you, it'll ask you a question and give you 4 options, right? What does a round circle with a line through it, right? Does it mean drive through it? Does it mean turn left? Does it mean stop? Does it mean, snow, there's roadworks ahead? What does it mean? So then you've got option 1, 2, 3, 4. So you do a bunch of mock tests, and basically it's what the highway code book says. So you read, read it backwards and forwards, read it up and down, get people at work to test you on it, to go through it. Right, okay, just whip through there, any page, open up a page, ask me a question. And that way you'll do it. I passed full, first time because I figured, well, being a boy, pass it first time. I don't have to go back and do it again. So I'll just do it right, from the get go. But that's what you have to do. Just read it up and down. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Okay, I've got to figure out how to turn this off now. I don't know. It's been all right. I'm gonna. Bloody hell, 6 months, Dave says, for a test. All right, thank you very much, Dave. See you. And, all right, it's been, where's it gone? 189 minutes. It's been 3 hours. Bloody hell. Okay, it's been a while since I've actually done this, and I can't remember how to turn this off. So I'm going to press that cross up here, and hopefully that'll do it. Thank you very much for watching, everybody, and hopefully see you in the next one. All right, are you sure you want to